All right, guys. Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Samuel Asamoah Boateng. I am a nurse in the US and I was a nurse in Africa, Ghana to be precise. And I've taken it upon myself to take you through. Hey, I'm sorry for that background noise here. To to take you to the thyroid gland disorders. Okay. And please do not hesitate to stop me at any point in time. There are places that we use tricks. And then there are other places that we would kind of improvise. Okay, guys, just a second. Just a second. Let me tackle this. All right, so please do not hesitate to come in anytime you feel like doing so. And please respect others' opinions. Do not lose, how's the wording? Do not um leave your mic unattended. Okay, so to say, just like I left my one attended. Don't do that. Everybody will hear what's going on. Um, the best you could do to, let's say, help this learning is don't try to appear intelligent for others to know you are good. It wouldn't yield us anything. However, if you have knowledge that you have to share, please do share. Feel free, and it's a free class. Thank you so much, and then stay tuned, and then we'll go through it all together. Now, this presentation that I'm going to do is going to cover the thyroid gland disorders, specifically hyperthyroidism and then hypothyroidism. Okay. And I'm going straight by teaching you the strategies to help you answer questions when you get them. In fact, to none that has utilized this particular strategy have seen any question on thyroid glands realistically too challenging to tackle at all. It's just makes it easier. It wouldn't be like you have no idea about them. It's very easy for you to move along. Now, my strategies in this presentation are about 89.3% useful and can give you the needed confidence to sit for the exams. If you want to know my methodology, I can talk to you backstage so that you know what went into this. This actually is part of an endocrine series which I'm doing with the paid group. But then I'll try and then give you some summary, flashbacks, and nutshells of everything so that we know what is going on. Now, when we start the what do we call it? The endocrine series, we are supposed to learn the hormones produced by the pituitary gland, okay? And it's not too difficult. We use an acronym to help us recall. Whilst the NCLEX is not going to ask you to pour um, the hormones produced by the pituitary gland, it is still important that you learn them. And I'm telling you, some of my students will say, yes, my knowledge of it gave me an idea that I should go this tangent. And if you get the whole trick, when they ask you a question about any hormone that is coming from or that have something to do with the pituitary gland, you have a clue how to go um, about them. Now, when you take the pituitary gland, let's say it's a gland in the brain, we call it hypophysical gland, it's beneath the hyper parts of the brain. And it has a front part and it has a hind part or a back part called posterior. So an interior part and a posterior part. So we use this acronym GOAT flap to learn them. I'm going to
Sorry,
help three people here.
please can you just go back to what you said? I don't know if it was from my side or your side, but it got broken. Sorry.
That's all right. What I'm saying is that as part of the endocrine series I'm going to go through with my student, we need to learn the hormones produced by the pituitary gland, okay? And with the pituitary gland, it has structurally it has a front part and a back part. Basically, that is the summary of what I'm saying. And we are using an acronym or a mnemonic to help us identify these hormones. It will be very useful to you some way, somehow. I don't know how, but it will. While the Nclex is not asking you, it's going to be useful to you. So I use the acronym GOAT flap. And I want three people to try after I've mentioned it to them. You will see how magical is it for you to record them without hassling. Okay. Now, for the first one, the J, I call it growth hormone. Second is oxytocin. This is ADH, antidiuretic hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone. This one is what the women love most. Adrenocorticotropic hormone. Okay. And then we have prolactin. It looks plenty. It looks like, hey, all these things in a minute. Yes, in a minute, you're gonna grab it. Um, this is how they look like. I want you to take a look at it again. Growth hormone, oxytocin, antidiuretic hormone, thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone, luteinizing. So it's like when we are able to get to the follicle, it's like something that is producing the eggs, bringing the eggs in, and then luteinizing, think of it like something that is breaking the eggs. Then the favorite one, adrenocorticotrophic hormone and prolactin. So I want somebody from the group. You are going to hear from about 3 or 4 people. By the time they finish, you should also have gotten the trick. So let's hear from the first person. Any volunteer? Try it. Let's go.
Let me
Yonko,
try.
yonko, hima yonko.
Yes. All right, the growth hormone,
That's right.
oxytocin, then antidiuretic hormone, thyroid hormone,
Stimulating
the
hormone.
follicle stimulating hormone, then luteinizing hormone, adenocorticotrophic hormone, and prolactin.
Yeah, yeah, be ready na mia. Pedaso ho.
Thank you.
Next, yonko. Yonko na now.
The growth hormone.
Growth hormone.
Is
Nana
someone
yonko.
talking? Okay. Oxytocin. Antidiuretic hormone. Thyroid stimulating hormone.
Astrometry.
Follicle stimulating hormone. Luteinizing hormone. Adenocorticotrophic hormone.
That's right.
And prolactin.
100%. Let's go. The other person. Yonko.
I want to try. So
Try
growth
it.
hormone,
Comma.
oxytocin, ADH, thyroid stimulating hormone,
Piao.
follicle stimulating hormone,
Thank you.
luteinizing hormone,
Comma.
adenocorticotrophic hormone,
You're a champion.
and prolactin.
And prolactin. How dear. You good. Last one. Yonko. But if you find this also yonko.
Dabi,
Yes.
growth hormone,
Comma.
oxytocin,
Nanko weti. Kasi mi siya sero para. Kasi mi mino. Kasi makachero. Yonko.
antidiuretic, thyroid stimulating hormone,
Why not just do the bwana mame?
luteinizing hormone, adenocorticotrophic hormone, and prolactin.
And prolactin. Please, Jenny, today look at your network. It's breaking at some point, okay?
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good job. Last person, then we go.
I think it's okay.
Asabi,
I want to try.
Oh,
The growth hormone,
growth hormone.
oxytocin,
Oxytocin. But you can take the A's. It's okay. Yes, adreno. Yes, let's go.
thyroid stimulating hormone, follicle stimulating hormone,
No problem.
luteinizing hormone,
Thank you.
adenocorticotropin hormone, and
That makes it 2.
prolactin.
You mentioned it twice. So which one is which? So the first A will be what? ADH.
Antidiuretic, sorry.
Well done. I'm a
Thank you.
very good. Everybody. We can't more the Becca as a big and warrior. It's be an anti-sacra. Now, what's the last P?
The last P is prolactin.
Okay. All right. That was good. Please, is there anybody who is learning this for the first time? You saw that the people were too fast in memorizing because some of them, let me be honest with you, they've done it before.
Yes, please.
If you are genuinely new and you wish to try it, please just tell me your name and start.
Yes, please.
Please. This is my first time.
This is my first time.
And what is your name?
Me too, my first time.
And Agbeshi.
I like Abeshi first. I presume she is a fair woman. That is why. You're right. Yonko.
Okay, I will not talk.
Yeah, we cannot talk now.
So
Yes.
the first one is growth hormone. We have oxytocin. We have ADH. We have thyroid stimulating hormone.
Well done.
Follicle stimulating hormones.
This one is network, pure network. And Deborah, you're doing a good man job. So, Deborah, continue.
We have follicle stimulating hormone. We have
Yeah, Blessing, you were breaking. Let's go. Take it back. Debbie Wafanadio.
We have follicle stimulating hormone.
Mm-hmm.
We have luteinizing hormone.
Mm-hmm.
And then
Quati.
corticosteroid trophy hormone.
Yeah.
And then
And then the last one, prolactin. Well done.
prolactin.
Oh my God.
Well done.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And no, a man hormone. We are now pronounce that word now. To say be a was na be easy amount. Easy. Easy. Debbie, let's try it quickly. Debbie, run through it so fast. If you delay, I'll take it myself.
We have the growth hormone.
Well done, Zico.
The oxytocin,
Mm-hmm.
antidiuretic hormone, the thyroid stimulating hormones, follicle stimulating hormones, luteinizing hormone, adrenocorticotropic hormone,
As Emma
and the
hormone.
prolactin.
That was beautiful, guys. Let's not waste time on it. So these hormones are going to act on specific organs in the body to release certain things. It's as simple as that. Growth hormone will attach to areas or organs that are responsible for growth. Oxytocin will go to an organ to tell it to do something. Same with ADH. Thyroid, as the name suggests, will go to the thyroid glands, follicle in that kind of order. So today, we are going to look at the thyroid gland. It's a butterfly-shaped organ located in the neck like that. And as you can see from the image, some of you say, hey, Asabi, which one? Yes, this one. The one I'm using the green marker to mark the borders. That is the thyroid gland. It is lying on the, people call it trachea. I call it trachea. In fact, in the US, they say trach. Have you heard them say trach before? Trach. Tracheostomy, right? Tracheostomy. When they have a word like H and A, or when they have A, it sounds like eh. So how will you pronounce this word?
Sam.
Sam. How will you pronounce the name of my hospital?
Hamot.
Oh, Missy, it sounds like eh.
Hamot.
Hemot. Yes. Yeah. And when they want to say can't, they say can. When they want to say can, they say can. But the difference is in where the word is going. I can't do that. I can't do that. No, I can't do that. And it's like accent, you know, where the accent is going determines what you mean. The T's are silent, okay? And in most of their spellings, when you see two T's, they become a D. So how will you pronounce this word?
Little.
What about this one?
Bottle.
Okay, you are learning. Thank you so much, and I hope to see you soon in the US.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's all part of it. We are training ourselves, preparing ourselves for the environment, isn't it?
Bottle.
Yeah, battle. So when somebody said the battle is the Lord, that was done as someone. She had it. The battle. Okay, so that was the thyroid gland for you guys. Let me quickly go through this. You have two chances. Either you listen to me or you look on the screen and get confused. It's your choice. We have two Islamic fastings. This one does not give meat. Stop bothering them, please. Those of you thinking about going for meat, it's not today. That one is Eid al-Adha, right? This one is not the meat one, but I still, guys, something small for the boys. Meat okay. All right. So I was just trying to say that pick a better option, which will be to listen to me. And that is why I'm making a joke to draw your attention. Okay. Listen to me. When you eat, the thyroid gland that I showed you on the previous page, it has a high affinity for iodine. Why? Because it uses iodine to produce the thyroid hormones. So it taps them or traps them. We have so many terms, something transporter, forget about that receptor, unnecessary stuff. But what is going to happen is that when it takes them to the thyroid gland. And then through iodination, like when you're adding iodine to something, you are iodizing it. So that's iodination, a process. And then through some small process becoming a huge thing. When you are adding smaller things to become a huge thing, we say we are synthesizing it. So when you go and study and you are doing literature reviews, you learn what Kofi said, what Moore said, what Akwesi said, then you take a central team from the 2 or 3 combined, you make it an idea, and you cite all of them. You have synthesized the data. So through thyroglobulin synthesis, the little cells in the thyroid are thyroglobulins. So through their synthesis, they working together, and then iodination, blah, 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 we end up getting some compounds, some organic compounds. Don't worry about my terminologies. Don't send your mind too deep. Take it easy, as I always tell you. And these compounds, some of them have 3 rings. And so we have the it will be iodine and tyrosine, or it can be of 4 kind of compounds or 4 wings if you want. So that one will be tetra. The iodine will still be the iodotyrosine. And this technically is what we are going to refer to as T3 and T4. So when I ask you in simple terms, what are the hormones produced by the thyroid gland? Tell me T3 and T4. It also produces another hormone. It's called calcitonin. It's also part of the productions. So now let me ask you, ladies and gentlemen, what are the hormones produced by the thyroid gland?
T3,
T4.
calcitonin.
Calcitonin. Now, can we calcitonin? Mame. Ah. Uma adie che dodo. Uma adie che so. Unya ka T3 and T4 we what's a name ka T3, T4 and sane ka brofo no.
Calcitonin.
Calcitonin. So that's all it is. And then when it has produced T3, T4 and calcitonin, it stores it. For when? For when the body needs it. So when the body needs it, what's up? That is where we are going to. Please stay tuned and don't sleep in class. When the body needs it, signals will be sent to the brain. There are higher parts of the brain that will send something. I think it's called thyroxine or whatever. I don't care, but it's called TRH. If you want to make it easier for you and you don't want the words to confuse you, the hypothalamus is more of a master gland. It releases and inhibits. Tienio, angel, no kase, one cancer.
Okay.
The hypothalamus releases and inhibits. It can help stimulate any of the secretions of the pituitary gland. Now that comes to you. What are some of the things produced by the pituitary gland? Let's go.
T3, T4, calcitonin.
Growth hormone.
Oxytocin.
Yes.
Antidiuretic hormone.
Jesus. Thyroid stimulating hormone. Follicle stimulating hormone. Adrenal wine.
Hormone.
Sister, what you are say?
Sound out here.
This is Sala edition of the corticotrophic hormone. The Sala edition. So there's the hypothalamus that will inhibit the pituitary gland from not producing or support the release or stimulation of it. Say, hey, go ahead and release. I've received some information. So hypothalamus is the headquarters. Then it will talk to the question.
What was the question you asked? Because we were confused. We were saying something else.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, I was asking the production of the pituitary gland, but because the brain was so much tuned to the thyroid gland, it was quite easier for you to have mentioned the hormones produced by the thyroid gland.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
That is just to tell you to pay attention and to be critical. I use divine akikadru. You know divine akikadru. Say pananki be wa kona nyame so mie no nyame bia ni ba bia. Eh kasisa nkwa boka o. Senya nka person ka obedi enyoma bi pa abanesa no agura person obedi enkoma person obedi boy bia obo so di no so tro went men di sa enyoma yi nyina. Hey. All right, let's come back to Claude. I'm sorry for the vernacular if you don't hear my local language. There was nothing serious in what I said. Don't bother crying. We have these hormones produced by the pituitary gland. Fair enough. But before any of those hormones are produced, a master gland, not the master gland per se, a higher gland, the hypothalamus, The physical gland, the physical gland, epiphyseal, physial gland. That is the higher part of the brain, the cerebrum and all those things. So even in some books, if you look at where this one, oh guys, you see the green mark here? This is the pituitary gland, oh, and this is the whole brain, the higher parts, the upper parts, and this is like the stem. It is this one that when you die, when they want to diagnose clinical death, they look at the stem, the pons area. I know you don't record the anatomy. Me, I don't recall, but I know you don't record. That's why I'm passing it through your eyes, kakra. So maybe I won't cheme. But this is technically the stem. When it dies, the human body will never come back to life. Trust me. That is what we certify clinical death with. Now, when it comes to this one, the pituitary gland, it is beneath this higher part of the brain. So they sometimes call it hypophyseal. Okay, hypophyseal gland. Now, Maud, when we use the word ectomy in medicine or surgery, what does it mean?
It's removal.
Removal. So if somebody gets his pituitary gland removed, how will we call it?
Hypophysectomy.
Hypophysectomy. So ladies and gentlemen, when you see this on your Nclex, they are still referring to the pituitary gland. And so when they take this gland away, which hormones do you think will suffer? Then you now tell me about the secretions of the pituitary gland. And what are they?
The goat flap.
Goat flap.
The goat flap. Hey, you're smart. Oh. Instead of going through everything, say goat flap because you know already. Hey, lie. Please pardon me today if I use more of Arabic words. It's my day. Inshallah, everything will be fine. Okay. So the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus has told the pituitary gland that hey, the body needs the hormones that the thyroid gland has stored. The thyroid gland, through the food that we ate, the iodine part, has created some hormones, but we need them in the body. And so we want you to help us relieve it. Now, if you have a mango tree like this, and then there are some mangoes on it, very beautiful mangoes. There are some mangoes on the tree. You know you can use a stick to plug it. Are you aware you can use a stick to plug some of the mango trees if the stick is long enough?
Yes, sir.
Do you know you can throw stone?
Yes.
If you are able to climb, but you can't go to the far end of the branch, what can you do?
You use your hands to pluck them.
But
You
if your
shake
hand
it.
can't reach there, you
You
shake it.
shake it.
Like this. You shake it. How long shake? You shake it. But so, Holy Ghost fire. You shake it. No, you shake it. So the thyroid stimulating hormone is going to shake the thyroid gland. And when it shakes it, that is why they are using the word stimulate. So what I was doing, somebody even interpreted it in a very sexual lens, right? And so that is what stimulation produces. If you are highly stimulated, you do things, right?
Yes, sir.
So the thyroid stimulating hormone from the pituitary gland is going to stimulate the thyroid gland and is going to release its hormones. Now, my question to you, what are the hormones that the thyroid gland will release?
The teeth.
T3, T4, calcitonin.
Okay. Now, if the body thinks that we've had enough of the T3, T4, and calcitonin, message will be sent to the higher part, the headquarters, the hypothalamus that, hey, please, we no more need the hormones. Then the hypothalamus will talk to the pituitary gland that stop stimulating the guy. So which hormone will be stopped here?
T3, T4, calcitonin.
Nope.
No,
In terms
thyroid.
of
The thyroid
the thyroid stimulating hormone. Yeah, it's okay. It's a confusing question to ask, but I mean, the specific answer is the thyroid stimulating hormone. Hey, Han, you are beeping.
Somebody is stimulated.
Stimulate one now beep.
Well.
Okay, so the thyroid stimulating hormone by the pituitary gland, when we think we have too much of the T3, the T4, and calcitonin, this TSH from the pituitary gland will come down. Guys, do we agree to that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Now,
Yes.
in principle, when you have these hormones too high in the body, we use the term hyper, okay? And we call it hyperthyroidism. Guys, are you with me?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Did I mention any TSH yet? No.
No.
I just said which ones are high.
The T3.
T3, T4, and calcitonin.
Yeah, it's a hyperthyroid state. If your feedback mechanism is working, the thyroid stimulating hormone will then come down, trying to bring them down. So each time you eat, almost every now and then, the body tries to go up and down. It's just some regulatory mechanisms that brings them back in shape. Now, for doctors to diagnose you as having hyperthyroidism, they need to ensure that at least these hormones, T3, T4, and calcitonin are. But the concept is this: calcitonin is normally not free in the blood as the T3 and T4. Even if the T3 and T4, some of them attach themselves to some proteins. So you see that the laboratory will use the term free T3 and T4. Now, if the laboratory does not use the word free, it is still T3 and T4. Guys, are you with me?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
I'm just saying this so that in case you see a particular question and it's the labs are not T3, T4, but they are saying free T3, T4, you don't think it's any new thing. It's the same thing they are talking about. And as a doctor, if you see that T3, T4, free T3, T4 are up and thyroid stimulating hormone is down, it tells you that the person is kind of in a hypothyroidism state. That was just by the way. So this is not the actual thing we are learning. Now, let's go back to an organ. When you look here, please, can you see the small things here? The red thing I'm marking. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, it's attached. Yes, it's attached to the thyroid gland. It is parathyroid gland. Para, kind of something that moves with something that is passing through something that is associated with something, anything like that. Call it para. Paramedics, they also help with the medical industry. They are attached to us. Okay. So parathyroid glands, this we have them P shape. In future, they will come in handy and you understand certain situations. Now let's talk about those a little bit. For the parathyroid glands, they produce what we call the parathyroid hormones. In fact, these parathyroid hormones will regulate calcium levels in the body. My question to you, how will doctors normally diagnose hyperthyroidism? They normally look at what?
T3, T4,
T3, T4 calcitonin.
if it's high.
And then
And then the thyroid stimulating hormone, if it's down.
it's down. And then they will diagnose. But for your T3 and T3, like the thyroid hormones to be high in blood, that is just a state of hyperthyroidism, right? So can we forward our argument and even say that when we eat, our blood glucose at the level or at the time that we eat normally goes up, right? And
Yes,
if
sir.
our pancreas and other stuff work, then they go back in. So we can say that every person, one way or the other, have ever had hyperglycemia before. But that is not a diagnosis called diabetes. True of us.
True.
So that is the type of distinction I want us to understand. The state, the mechanism, the situation, the syndrome, or whatever it is, different from what the doctor will diagnose. Now, for the parathyroid gland, we are saying it's attached to the thyroid gland and then they regulate calcium in the body. So if you regulate calcium, that means that maybe you will help with the production of calcium. You also help prevent calcium from being maybe excessively removed from the body, or when the body has too much, you let it be removed and all that. When we take your parathyroid glands away, there is a chance, a high chance that you will have calcium issues unless you supplement yourself with calcium. Okay, and then we all know that calcium. What is needed for calcium absorption?
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D, yeah,
Where can we get vitamin D?
from the sun.
So is it true that when somebody stay in the sun for too long, the person can get too much vitamin D?
Yes.
Yes, be bold and say that yes. It's very common here. Because the black skin, like melan people with this dark skin, like sometimes we utilize it so we don't feel the hyper state. By individuals who do not have it, they normally show the hyper state of vitamin D and also calcium increase in them. Now let's go back to the topic. We are going to talk about the thyroid hormone disorders and what they do. And this is quite motivated by my Nclex advice that I took some time ago, and I'm going to share with you. He says that when you see the word thyroid or thyroidism, when you see thyroidism, he wants you to replace it with metabolism. Okay. In that case, hypothyroidism becomes what?
Hypometabolism.
Okay. And then that of the hypothyroidism becomes
Hypometabolism.
Metabolism.
that's the first one. I know I'm hyper and I'm
Hyper,
hypo.
yeah.
But
No problem, sir.
what I say? Well, problem send the pa problem. Send the pa problem. It's a French one. I see ya. What's that? Okay. Sometimes when I'm teaching, especially when I'm teaching things like acid and bases, hey, the way I watch my mouth, because if the thing is respiratory alkalosis and you go and say respiratory acidosis and say, oh, I'm sorry. Oh, respiratory. Tell you end up confusing the student too.
It's true.
It's not easy. Teaching is not
I
easy.
slept. I just wake up.
Hey.
Yes.
And
I
your
went for
thyroid hormones.
I went for night duty. So I just wake up and
Well, thank you for sharing with us. If anything changes, let us know.
yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hi, is there something we can help you with? Oh, we're sorry. This is the wrong place. Is there anything else we can do for you?
Hello.
Who say wrong place? Working from home or customer care we mute all surrounding voices. Oh, is there anything else? So there is something I work on. Jennifer Osei Wuso.
Asabi.
Amen.
So let's look at hyperthyroidism, or what we will call hypermetabolism. Metabolism is anything ending with shin, including attention, if it is in the body. So elimination, digestion, any tension, respiration, they are all metabolism, right? They are all metabolic activities in the body. Attention, if only it's in the body in Kwandia, it's part of metabolism.
Okay.
So every activity in your body is metabolism. And then you are talking about the thyroid hormones regulating metabolic activities in the body. In that way, if thyroid hormones go high, what will go high?
Everything in the body will go high.
Metabolic activities in the body will go high. Exactly. So I will not even talk about the signs and symptoms with you, but let me go to the course and we will brainstorm the signs and symptoms without using any book.
Okay.
Now, there is a particular type of hyperthyroidism, a state where your thyroid hormones will be high. That is not a fault of yours per se. It's just the immune system. Sometimes we don't know. It just all of a sudden, I don't know whether he sees the thyroglobulin or the iodization process or so whatever. He sees it as a structure of a microorganism or I don't know. The immune system just decides to fight the thyroid gland. And then before we could say Jack, the thyroid gland just will release it to say Bema Unim Yansa na when yes cano. Will release it basa basa basa. Yes, it's like that. Will release it. Yeah, media channel. So it just bring it out. And so your thyroid hormones.
Is it money we are losing or what?
We are talking about thyroid hormones.
Asabi.
Oh, senior, it's a thyroid hormone. So when it happens to be that this guy is no fault of his, but just autoimmune, we call it Graves' disease. Okay. So if on the Nclex they talk about Graves' disease and they don't mention hyperthyroidism, they are still talking about what?
Hyperthyroidism.
So it's the same thing. It's the same thing. I even use not to even teach people what it is. So that the moment they see Graves' disease, I just tell them hyperthyroidism is the same as Graves' disease. But it's good that you, as somebody who will be talking to other people, know the difference. Say, oh, it's the same, just that this one is coming from this origin. Okay. And when I say origin, it's not ORIGEN. Okay. So treat all growths on the Nclex as hyperthyroidism. Sometimes it could be a growth. Some of these growths are cancerous in nature. Others are not cancerous. In terms of cancerous, I'm meaning some of them enlarging and always enlarging. Others, they do not enlarge, just a lump there. They can call it noodles, they can call it multinodular, I don't care. All that I know is that when you have a groove there, irrespective of the descriptors that they use, can make your hormones production go up. And as a principle and trick that I've seen on the Nclex, mostly when there is a tumor, whatever hormones that particular organ produces kind of heightens instead of being hypo. Have you studied?
Yes, sir.
So it's a trick for you. It's a trick for you. Now let's come to think of it.
Mpacho, I repeat what I come.
Or not is a trick, no. There's a not dealing what about Kobo? Charlie, what the dear Bankwana Uti? Ane.
Oh, I'm in Pablo.
I'm saying that if you observe how you see some organs are able to produce things, some of them secrete things, some of them release some things. But if these organs have cancerous growth or tumors on them, it happens that whatever they are releasing, whatever they are secreting or producing, kind of comes in the hyper state. You get a trick. So that is the trick. So if you give me any, or even if I don't know the condition, I should expect that since it's a cancerous or something state, then probability should be a hyperproduction state.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes. You're welcome. And I don't know how it will come in handy, but I mean, we just keep it at the back of our mind. Now we are going to the signs and symptoms, but before I open the page, looking at somebody, let's take it system by system. In terms of the central nervous system, if a person's metabolic activities go up, what are some of the signs and symptoms you expect?
Agitation.
Repeat it.
Agitation.
Agitation or irritability. What else?
Your temperature also goes high.
Yeah, temperature regulations from the brain. So you can credit it to the central nervous system. Yes. Increased temperatures. Yes.
Can you say loss of consciousness?
Any loss. Any loss. Just say yeah,
Okay.
then will be say alert no. Won't lose shame come to sister.
Asabi.
Who can obey do what them?
There'll be a hyper illusion.
Excessive sweating.
Yeah, it can create an illusional state, and we'll learn about it.
Yes, illusion. Okay.
And since they are breaking down food substances or they are getting a lot of nutrients, they will become thin. You see, they are using the energy.
Central nervous system.
Slimness.
Central nervous system. What the weight equals central nervous system?
Confusion.
But the best GI. But the weight best GI.
Confusion. Okay.
Azabi, what about headache?
Headache.
What about headache?
Headache. Headache is the number one sign and symptom. Now, bit much no baby. I say hypo, ladies and gentlemen. This is the box then by Charlie. Headache is a cool chop. A lady went to give birth. After birth, headache. I was walking and then I hit my foot against a stone. It paid me, so I now have a headache with it. I'm telling you, headache.
If you're hungry, headache. If you're hungry, headache.
If you're hungry, headache.
If you don't have money,
headache.
If you don't have a wife, headache. If you have a wife,
headache you Canada, headache every day.
Would there be seizures?
Seizures, wow.
Yes.
Compare seizures and coma. Would there be coma?
No.
Coma lose down, right? What about lethargy?
No.
Slow reaction.
Yes.
Slow reaction. You said yes.
No.
No. Are you looking forward to seeing slurred speech?
No.
You see, now the whole concept comes to adjectives and how the words themselves behave, right? You are looking at the nature of the word if it is hyper. So no need to really memorize what is in the textbook, but just the nature of the word. Now, let's go to the respiratory system. Yes.
Tachypnea.
Let's go to the cardiovascular system.
Tachycardia.
And then
hypertension,
palpitation, arrhythmias. There are certain answers you can say it for every one of them. Arrhythmias, whether hypo or hyper, arrhythmias. What do you mean by arrhythmia?
Azabi,
it could be
can we see
a high or a low
obstruction in the chamber.
Cock
and hook and look through. Cock and hook and look through.
Pull through.
Can pull through.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I want to hear from the lady. There was a time that Flight Lieutenant, may he so rest in peace, was reading, and then a woman was holding an umbrella. Then it's like the woman was getting fatigue or something. Then a man came to say, "Oh, I beg, I want the lady. Small enjoyments, please, I want the lady." What definition? That's time. So let's go to the. Okay, Nana, you were giving something.
Yes, Asabi, please. I'm asking whether there will be high peak TV.
Yes.
Yes. This week.
The
Yes.
peak will come instead of the depressed stuff. Yes.
Okay.
You can use that. But in fact, the best route out, even if you don't know, is
Arrhythmias.
just to say arrhythmias.
Okay.
It's like somebody saying menstrual disorders. What do you think?
It could be good
But
one.
It will be yeah.
And
If
then
it's hyper.
if you want to be lame, you say appetite changes. True or false?
Yes.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Yes. But let's look at what will happen to the appetite when metabolic activities are high. When metabolic activities are high, what will be the rate of digestion?
Fast.
Fast.
Will
High.
food nutrients be utilized very fast?
Yes.
Very fast.
Yes.
So is the person going to gain weight or lose weight?
Lose weight.
Emaciation. If
Weight.
you
Lose weight.
That's what the tumor, like if you put it up.
It's a damping syndrome.
The diarrhea.
Yeah, what's a damping syndrome? I had to say Ghana prepaid ECG.
Because this month don't last much. Yeah, easy. From January to this month.
Oh my God.
You see.
Maufemo is making me think of the national security when I was there. There were sometimes secret cameras that when you enter some room and you see people's pocket. Next will be video, will be secretly until what they share pocket, baby. Maufemo, the word is thermo.
Sabi is that?
Maufemo, your video is on and I'm seeing your waist.
Hey.
Please take a look at it because my video is top light for everybody. That's why they are not seeing it. But at the appropriate time, God will reveal it to men. All right. So we are on hyperthyroidism still, and we're talking about the signs and symptoms. There is one thing that I'll go deeper with you on it, but then, like we were saying, the person is going to lose weight. If they don't say lose weight, they can say grow thin, right? Or weight loss is the same thing. Let me ask you this. Will the person feel heat? Like
Yes.
No, the right word is hot. Will the person feel hot, right?
Yes.
So in English, will we say the person is tolerable of heat or intolerable of it?
Intolerable.
Or was such person love cold?
Yes.
Or not love cold?
Love cold.
Use the word tolerable and intolerable and cold in this perspective.
Cold tolerance.
Cold tolerance. So you see that it is about play of words, right? And so in these kind of signs and symptoms, Nclex will play with words. Said that the person who went to the textbook to learn about heat, the moment he see heat, he don't care whether it is tolerant or intolerance. He just pick it, right? But you that understand the mechanisms that is going on, you are able to decipher even the adjective added to a word and the modifying phrases and nouns, as if I understand English. Nothing there inside my brothers. That is. Okay. Now, for tremors and muscle weakness, yes, it's all in the upper state as we regard it, because these, if you look at my students that I taught electrolyte imbalance, they know that when I'm talking about tetraiodine, they know iodine is on the periodic table. True or false? True. It's an element, and when elements find themselves in the body, they become electrolytes, right?
Yes.
And so if they are imbalanced, it can lead to muscle what? Weakness or muscle issues. So that is how the principle works here too. Now, the good one that I'm going to talk extensively about is the bulging eyes, or what we call exophthalmos. When you are studying the eye, what's the terminology we use?
Ophthalmology.
So it's like ophthalm has something to do with the eyes, right?
Yes.
What is the difference between endoskeleton and exo? In fact, what's endo and exo?
Endo is inside.
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 Exo
Exo is
is
outside.
So over here, the eye is protruding out, right?
Yes.
Exophthalmos. So if they don't see bulging eyes and they say that, and the reason why that will happen, especially in the autoimmune types, when the immune system is attacking, it normally attacks some parts of the eye. I'm making it easier for you. If you are somebody who love too much physiology, you can take a snapshot of it, but I'm promising you the Nclex won't ask you for those physiologies. But the concept is that the immune system attacks and there will be inflammation, right? And so the eye beds are also attacking. That's why. And my first time of experiencing this was after a long of 4 days off at Opoku ward, a female medical ward at 37 Military Hospital. I was on night duty. I was the shift in charge. So as usual, at a point when we were handing off, I decided to quickly go to one room to check for an IV stand so that also sometimes when you're handing off, there is something you need to address immediately, right?
Yeah.
So I was going to bring an IV stand from one room to the other room. When I entered the room had the lights off. I turned it on and this woman looked at me and I was like, hey! That was my first time. And I was a military man, so when with that military trouser down and then scrap top, I didn't want them to see my fear. I was like, hey, more. Okay, guys, I'm the best see why. I created a story from the whole situation, and when I'm like, God, did I see a human being or what is it? So when we were going back, I was lagging behind a little bit for them to take the lead so that I know that I'm not having some delusions and hallucination. Then I told oh.
The patient is on tracheostomy tube, and I didn't know this patient has that. So immediately I entered the patient's room. This patient had this symptom, which is the bulging eyes, and it was so red. Because
hey, it was red in addition. Charlie, that one was to be scary. And can you imagine that there are those that like talking? When I didn't learn the symptoms, I didn't understand. Not knowing they are always irritable, so they will complain, right? They will complain. It's like they want to say something, but they don't even know what they want to say. They feel uncomfortable. So these are some of the things. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test you. The wisdom and the trick in studying some of these things does not lie in learning the textbook type of signs and symptoms. No, it's learning the tricks. First, I thought I was just teaching people to go and write in class, but I realized that the trick is also applicable. If I can detect your sign and symptom and detect the illness, then it's good, right? It saves lives. It's not just about the exams. So it's very useful. It makes you a useful member of the society. Let's try this question. More, do I have to say the adults remember again?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Please, this advert is proudly brought to you by More Than Otis Delivery Company. So adults will remember 40% of what they hear or heard. For 60%, add visual to it, make it audio visual, then they are remembering 60%. If you want adults to remember about 80 to 100%, let them take part in whatever is happening. Or if they partook, then trust me, they remember everything that was involved. That is why women are able to identify which man is the father of that baby. Please partake in this exercise. Write your answer in the chat box. There is a reason why we are doing this. If you like, keep sitting on the fence. I know. You'll remember this today and you think you'll never forget. Let me give you just 3 months and you see how you'll be searching for what went on. As how can I
So beautiful.
sɛ nyame nyankopɔn bo me ba wiase bio na meware ɔba yɛfɛ no Lydia sɛ wɔyɛ so ɔnyɛ o mennim
Super crazy.
ɔpanyine kɔgye kyerɛ sɛ ɛmɛma gye bie na ano ɔden hips no wobɛkeka we sɛ mepɛ deɛ ɔhyɛ hips no wobɛkeka we 23 and 5. 2,345. What is going on in the chat box? People are writing numbers. 4 and 5. Ogun Tayo Monisola. 234. Charles 34. Odotobri constituency 2,345. Odododio. Hey, Charlie. Ganapa. Hey. Odododio. All right, let's look at it. Emphasize the importance of a low carbohydrate diet. Are you going to do that?
No, sir.
Why wouldn't you?
Because they are already burning calories this high, so they need high calorie food.
100%. Excellent. Now, encourage the client to increase. Let me see somebody who picked 2 because they can answer best. Is there anybody who picked 2 as an answer and give me a very good answer for this so that we can move on? Anybody? Any volunteer? Meshe mo mi hunu a pick 2 no tinche na just say me hunu. Okay.
I actually picked the 2 by
picked 2.
mistake.
Hey!
But it was by mistake.
I
It
just
was by
saw
mistake.
what the baby
It was by mistake.
Okay, why did you
Actually,
pick the other person who didn't pick it by mistake? Yes, go ahead.
I picked 2 because increased high fiber foods slows in the digestion. So,
Okay. If somebody is having constipation and we want to advise the person as nurses, please don't speak just according to this question. What are some of the things we can tell the person?
High fiber. You take high fiber.
Does that mean that high fiber can really increase intestinal motility or GIT motility?
Yes, it can increase it.
Now, looking at the nature of the way we describe the symptoms, between when the patient has hyperthyroidism in the abdomen, what are some of the things that will happen? I think we skipped that in the GIT.
Diarrhea.
So between constipation and diarrhea, you pick diarrhea, right?
Yes.
So if this person is likely going to get high motility or diarrhea state, will you still add the high fiber that?
No.
Run die. You run die.
So we rule it out. It makes sense. And I like the one that came to explain to us what she picked. She has made some of us that wouldn't have spoken learn. You own her. What? These are the real G's. These are the real G's. There were times when I went online to debate, not knowing I was debating against AI. So one day I requested that everybody turn on his camera. People were saying I don't have camera. Hey, Wabwa. They have devices, spare devices that they are using AI. So all along I was debating with AI. So if they accepted anything at all, it was AI that understood and accepted, not them. You see, and what the end result, they are not trained. For my end, I'm trained because I use my intellect and I'm building it up. So what will happen? AI is just gathering all the knowledge on it or what we have now and producing it to you. But if I have the creative ability, I'll always conduct a research and my findings, AI will now share it with you. That means I'm always a step ahead of you. So please, let's not replace AI with creativity. You can create something, but you can use the knowledge we have already. In other words, you can use AI to shape it for you, right?
Yes.
But don't let it when they give you an assignment and then you have the chance to use an AI. Genuinely, if you don't have any idea how to go about it, AI can give you a plot. That is good. But if I were you, what I would do is this. I'll first of all try and plot something on paper that I would have done, like the definition of nursing by Virginia Anderson. Unaided, if I have the necessary skill and strength. You put it down. Now, after you put that one down, ask AI to do it. You will see that AI would say something, but there is something on what you did that is so unique. Then you now ask AI, please add this to it. I want you to do it this way rather. Then they will do it. Okay. That was just by the way to encourage you, especially people who seem to use AIs for test preparation. Sometimes test preparation is based on authority. So AI can just pick a newly published article and give it to you. If it is not a consensus in nursing as it stands now, forget it. That wouldn't be authority enough. Just so you are aware. Include meals and snacks high in protein content. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes.
Teach avoidance of caffeine-containing liquids. What's up?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Why didn't you pick it? Because I didn't pick it. The other person would
because
Because caffeine is a
if you
stimulant.
take caffeine, the person is already elated and going to take caffeine, it will worsen their case.
Okay. Yes, you
Then
are right. You are right for the
just
only once in your life, for the first time in your life. Yes. Okay. Thank you so much. All right.
Yeah, you are welcome, bro.
Teach the client about consumption of a high calorie consumption of a high calorie diet of 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day.
Yes, sir. Once it's high, it's high.
I
Oh,
think
high
it's
is
too
high.
much.
So
then
the
no,
concept.
because
Uh-huh.
yeah,
Yes,
I think
Angel,
it's too
come
much,
in.
especially compare if they said that teach the client about consumption of high calorie diet without specifying the range. I think this range is too high for the patient.
So let's do this. Ladies and gentlemen, today we have somebody who understands this, unless she now confesses she does not. Angel, are
Yes, sir.
you really acquainted with the calories that one should take in a day?
No, please.
Okay.
Honestly, no.
So if I were you, I wouldn't pick this answer. And so just say that I am not sure of the 4,000 to 5,000 calorie. I don't know what it means, so I'm not picking this as an answer. Then
Okay.
you'll be on the safer side. You get my trick, honey. So I'm adding
Yes.
honey, not because you are sweet. Okay. So now, people too will read the English like Maud. What is your thought of this one? Because they
It says high. I know they mean high, and these figures are high. So
high. So it means
high for the
that
Lord.
4,000 to 5,000 are high calorie, right? That is what the English is suggesting. So I don't even need to understand it. The fact that this is qualifying the 4,000, 5,000, I'm pretty much good to go. So they are confident that high calorie is something that the patient need, and it is qualifying the 4,000.
The patient actually need a high calorie because metabolism is fast.
High.
And so
Yes.
you need to meet up with the loss of the patient by giving a high calorie as well.
Exactly, Jessica. Sister Jess. I love that name. If I were to give birth, my 120th lady would bear that name. It's one of the sweetest names I love. Jennifer Joyano. All right, let's move on. Now, remember what I said about. Yes, please.
So, as the answers are 2, 3, 4,
and 5.
and 5.
ASP, to be honest with you, I'm not an answers guy. What I normally,
Okay.
yes, I just want my students to get a trick. And do you know that sometimes I am worried when they get the answers correct at first try. Some of them do guesswork. And so when they get it correct, the lesson is not learned. Imagine if you get it wrong here. It will, especially when you spoke loud and everybody saw that it was wrong. The type of lesson you will get, it will never repeat itself on your Nclex. Are you aware of that?
Yes.
Yes, I'm being honest with you. That is why I encourage people to bring out the things in them, because when you get it wrong, it's better to get it wrong here than for it to be something elsewhere.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So as the class move on, you see people asking, "Sir, I beg, go back. I didn't see the answer." Me, I don't care about those answers. It doesn't mean anything, even if you see it. Go and answer properly on the Nclex for me. Let's talk about the diagnosis. I said something. How will we diagnose hyperthyroidism? There are 3 things involved.
T3,
T4, calcitonin high.
T3 and T4 will be what? High. And then the
TSH low.
TSH will be low.
Somebody is sitting and say, "Hey, Charlie, this thing, how did they get there?" Okay, so this is it. S is equal to B y squared. So dy dt is equal to change of direction S over. Remember those things when you were in an E maths class and then you tell the teacher, "I don't get it." In order for him to teach you where he's even going, no crack.
Nah, it was.
It's not easy. It's raw. God be a helper. Sometimes even if you don't understand, you just keep quiet. We have this scientific textbook. We use Acula. Remember that Acula? At least you go to prep, then you take Acula, then maybe someone good student will be around. Charlie, take me to this, or then they help you. Because that teacher who's the government is paying below the average limit, Master Jai. Why you do what So yes, clinical assessment will give us a clue. When I come to the room with that exophthalmos, nobody will tell the doctor to do a and then the test. Do you know how they call the test?
Thyroid function test.
Thyroid function test.
Yeah.
Okay.
TFT.
So nobody will tell you to do a thyroid function, and it normally comes together with what we call the base metabolic what?
Panel.
Okay, it comes with BMP because it's also mostly electrolyte, right? And these
Yes.
elements come with them most of the time. But you can order TFT separately too, especially when you are having hypertension and you want to rule out thyroid condition. Okay. And then we can use imaging to show the growth, the swellings and other stuff in it. Okay. All right. Please, those who have not paid, I kindly request that you go out so that I continue with those who have paid. Now, I want to give this. Let's answer this question. I know I've not taught you hypothyroidism, but I want you to imply, just as you go to the Nclex and you meet things that you've not taught, but use the knowledge of what you have, guess what this could be, and give me your best shot, okay? The answer that you've chosen, if they ask you to defend it, will you defend it?
Honey, asemno.
You are just following the crowd. What if they are wrong? Hey.
Honey, asemno.
Oh, Monisola, the thing no be select all that apply you.
That confused, you know. You confuse
Confusion make basa.
Clement Zuri, because he thinks I will think he's from Cameroon. He's added Ghana to his name. Bro, my mind is made up. My mind is made up. Clement, today, also. Senior Clement. Also, you did.
Yes, I see. I follow you.
You did work small. Just you're not that too busy.
I follow you. I follow.
Oh, but the accent looks like Ghanaian.
Oh, he's a Ghanaian actually. he understands the assignment. That's why he's also playing along.
Okay.
Obapa Ampuma. Is it Obapa Ampuma? I know.
Yes.
This name. Where?
Yes, Asabi.
Obapa Ampuma.
Yes, Asabi.
I hope I've not done anything ungodly with you.
Oh, no.
Oh, okay. Because, God, thank you.
Yo, baby, baby.
Atija.
When you get ask Nanaya, there was something we called identification parade. When we were in the military, they could line us up, and then you see a woman will come for her daughter to identify a soldier that slept with the daughter. It's not easy, those days. Identification parade. Boys could walk around and they don't even remember the ladies they've walked. God have
So,
mercy.
so RSM you go. If your RSM is correct, it will just lock you inside the guard room.
The RSM
After
will
the
first ask you,
identification, did you do it?
yes, obesha de busa wa waye sa no. Nti ohu a no ayi wo afirim. No a present omo mi agani no.
That's it. Yes. And they say, yeah, police, yeah, do what you have. Maybe you have a city, police.
Ombe you ama.
Police.
Soja de omo, soja de. Onu soja ni pie,
Explain
penifo
the
ni koye
call.
bibia no ano. Esi wo ha, no be fie,
Afterwards,
no be
the
fie.
RSM will deal with you properly.
Tell them, tell now, tell them. I think bet you go pay, you go pay.
And that will be done.
All right. So the nurse is talking with a client with hypothyroidism who has been receiving level for the past 12 months. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this is how you study with the question banks. Those of you who keep answering questions on the question bank. Over here, I've seen a new condition, I don't know, hypothyroidism, and the person is taking levothyroxine. So when I ask you, what drug will you use in treating hypothyroidism? What will you say?
Levothyroxine.
And you could tell that this is the type of drug people will take for long. How do I know that? Because this guy has been taking it for the past 12 months. Then it tells you that it's not that short drugs, Nibia, right? It's a long time. Then you get a clue from that. Now, the laboratory test results show an elevated TSH. So TSH is high. Which of the following statement will be appropriate for the next minute? Now, before we go to the answers, when TSH is high, normally T3 and T4 levels will be what?
Low.
That is when the TSH will keep increasing, right?
Yes, sir.
I will teach you something from here, but we will answer the question first, then I'll move on. So if you see the TSH high, the T3 and T4 is low. Of course, probably that is the reason why TSH is high, T3 and T4 are low. When T3 and T4 are low, what condition is that?
Hypothyroidism.
Or metabolism.
Yes. So that confirms the diagnosis the patient is having. However, they've been an intervention for how long?
Over 12 months.
But still, they do the test and it's looking something like this. What do you think, you, without the answers, what do you think? What do you think is going on? What is your conclusion or assumption?
Inadequate treatment.
Nursing diagnosis inadequate
Secondly,
treatment related to wicked husband. In your own words, what do you think is happening here?
That the treatment is not working.
The treatment is not working. It's not the dosage, the treatment, whatever. The drug is not working, right?
Yes.
Option 1, take half your prescribed dose of levothyroxine. Now, full crying manaraba. So, guys, the full is even not working. Then you want to take half. I don't think we will like it. Levothyroxine may be temporary head until your TSH level is rechecked in 3 weeks. I don't know that. I've not studied about that.
That is suicidal.
I don't know, so I won't pick it yet. Expect your healthcare provider to increase your prescribed dose. This is quite in line with my thought. What do you think?
Yes.
Because I think probably the dose is too small. It's not working enough. Levothyroxine should be taken with a calcium supplement to increase. I don't know about this. What about you?
No, I don't know.
Calcium will rather reduce the effectiveness.
So it's not like I don't know, but as it stands now, right? I'm teaching you how to approach a question, okay? So if genuinely you don't know, don't force yourself to know. There are some people who can force themselves and know everything. Hi, my name is Sam. I'm a nice boy. I want to have life. You think I don't know you, eh? And remember, they says, men are almost. I know men. Meanwhile, she's worked with Kwesi and Kwame only. Why don't you give Kofi a try?
Wait the number.
The value is the same.
Oh, me, I know men. Okay, all right. So 3 was the answer. Now, the number 1 treatment for any hyper-releasing, hyper-secreting, hyper-producing, hyper-whatever hyperstimulating organ in the body is to remove it. So the number one treatment is to do what?
Remove it.
And when you do it surgically, we call it what?
Thyroidectomy.
Ectomy. So if the thyroid glands are the one producing too much thyroid hormones, you will do what?
You remove the thyroid.
If it is the adrenal gland, listen to the interesting stuff. If it's the adrenal gland,
Remove the adrenal gland.
adrenectomy.
Hypophysectomy.
What about if it's the kidneys?
Nephrectomy.
I was waiting for kidney.
Renectomy.
Sometimes we maintain the Latin names, right? Sometimes we utilize the modern names. Now, so if a patient is having hyperthyroidectomy or hyperthyroidism, sorry, I said the wrong thing. If a patient is having hyperthyroidism, what would be the best approach to manage such a patient?
Remove the thyroid.
Remove the thyroid. Apart from that, we have other therapies. We have the radioactive iodine therapy. We have the medications, and then we have the symptoms treatment, like using beta blockers. I'm going to go through them briefly, and by the time you get out of them, you should be refined. In fact, I'm going to talk to you about the radioactive treatment. After the Second World War, I think the Cold War also, there were treaties signed that nobody's going to utilize nuclear war. Now, there's an aspect in chemistry which I didn't take serious. I was sleeping almost always the time in class. So permit me if I go over the board. Organic chemistry will teach us about radioisotopes. If not physics teaching us, chemistry will do that. For radioisotopes, we call it something half-life, okay? It's about the time taken for a radioisotope to decay to half of its nucleus. And it may sound technical, but in other wisdom, or in my simplest way, I can tell you that when you put something there, the time it will take for it to rot, the time it will take for it to break down, in other words, disintegrate, break down totally. When you take some of these radioisotopes, some of them are unstable, very unstable. They have unstable neutrons and protons, something like iodine, I think 371 or so, 137, I've forgotten the terms, uranium, rhodium or whatever, iodine, one of them, potassium 34, 37, one of them. Guys, forgive me, my chemistry is quite weak. But these substances, when you put them down, it takes a very long time. So when we want to age the world, or how old the earth is, people will take some tectonic plates and then they look out for some of these radioisotopes and then they use them because, for example, some of these radioisotopes like uranium and the likes, it will take a very long time for it to change from it being a uranium to lead, which is another state of its radio decay process. So we can see how long it took for that, the half-life. Don't worry about my technical terms. Some of these principles have helped us to see that some of these radioisotopes with unstable nucleus, when they come closer to the human cells, they modify the morphology of our cells. They change the nature of our cells. They make our nucleus also misbehave. So when you throw a bomb, there is a place in Ukraine as it stands now, even prior to this war, that is very radioactive. Just say, when you get close to that place, if you get extremely close, you die at once. But around that area, you can get some cancer cells. Now, the nuclear and atomic bombs that you are saying people are having, it wouldn't take much. When we pray, if humans are able to pray, the Muslims put their forehead down and Christians clap. And then we pray for World War III to come. I'm telling you, the earth wouldn't survive. The earth as a structure, as a solid mass would be there, but life would not exist anymore because when you throw it, even after the bomb has detonated, that substance that is there, some of them takes as early as millions, some billions of years to decay. And whatever place it will fall, no, that place will be uninhabited for billions or millions of years before you can come back to that place. Can you imagine? And these people, world powers, are joking with human life like this. And it's like somebody is just waiting for another person to start. The moment you start your team, if they have whatever they have to drop on you, because there are two things involved. When you throw and it fails, you are out of cover. They have enough to melt your geographical location out of the world atlas. Ladies and gentlemen, we are sitting on a time bomb. At first, we thought that either we will go and collide with the Andromeda galaxy, the closest galaxy, and then life will be no more because things will shake up things and we will no more be in the Goldilocks zone. Or probably the sun, in about 5 billion light years, would heat too much, then kind of melting all the planets around it as it turns into a dwarf. A white dwarf, we call it in physics. But ladies and gentlemen, that is not mostly the case. What is going to happen is that we are going to kill ourselves. If an infectious illness does not wipe us out, we will fight and wipe ourselves out. And that is what is going to happen. And I fear we are very close at it now than ever. Even if one person throws it, it takes one. Because me, if you throw it, I'm scared. I don't want you to tempt it. So I will dump everything I have on you so that you go away with your bad thought. I don't want you because I'm destroying everything of yours. That is the whole concept now. So we are sitting on a time bomb. Let's move on to our class. Radioactive iodine is very harmful. It has been manipulated to the stance that when it gets into you, it's going to shrink every cell that it gets closer to. Shrink it. So looking at the high affinity of the thyroid gland, like I explained per the physiology, for iodine, we will intentionally hide a radioactive substance in iodine, put it in food, and make you swallow it. You're not going to pass it through veins, no. We put it in food, make you swallow it into your GIT. We will not make you eat any food, of course. So when you swallow, yes, the gland, so he goes to take this iodine and to his new knowledge, it swells it up, especially if there was a cancer or a cancer cell there. Ladies and gentlemen, that is it. Do you understand the radioactive iodine therapy now?
Yes, coach. Yes, sir.
Please do understand.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so it's like a decoy. The military people will say something that you hide just to deceive. The gland takes it and it works like the sulfur methoxazole, right? Those kind of stuff. All right, so this one is the therapy. We have the test, but let's go to the therapy and then we talk about it. Looking at how dangerous it is, will you give it to pregnant women?
No, sir.
No. And they may be children too, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you are on other medications already, like you are treating thyroid, please hold on with that because this is a different type of therapy. Discontinue those drugs and then do the therapy first. When the therapy is done, if there's a need to continue, fine. If not, but just discontinue those medications before you do that therapy. And then to us, the visitors, if the person takes it, the person's urine and other stuff are all radioactive. So we have to be very careful how we get closer to that person. In fact, instead of using the word isolate the patient, we say nurse the patient in a private room. Okay, these days they are stigmatizing some words. Yes. So nurse in a private room. Let the person use one bathroom. If your ward is the type that will share, please let her use one bathroom. And then flush the toilet like 2 to 3 times after use. We have a team called HAZMAT. HAZMAT is just the shorting form of hazardous material. Okay, they are it's like Zoom Lion Ghana who have been trained to get rid of harmful substances in the hospital. Okay, so you are minimizing time spent with that individual, even the utensils that they use, the spoon, the bowls, and all those things. You have to isolate it, like the person will have to use that alone. And even you, the healthcare worker, have to be careful. And I learned that iodine and metformin are not good friends. So please, for metformin is a no-go area. And this is not for this. I think some of the contrast that we use in CT scans contain iodine, right?
Yes, sir.
So it is for this same reason that if a patient will be going for these scans with contrast, you may want to avoid metformin that morning. Yes, you see the way I'm saying it now, you may not get it anywhere as you study it. So when we say it now, you just hide it because don't wait, Sabia, when we are talking about a medication called metformin, then we will say it. No, there is little time to study. So as we talk, just take it as a learning moment for you. Now let's try ourselves. What are some of the things to consider? Nursing consideration when the patient is on radioactive iodine therapy.
Private room nursing.
Pregnancy,
Avoid metformin.
Flush the toilet 3 times or more.
Children,
avoid
any medication
from the patient.
medication.
Do not
Next
give it.
patient.
Next patient.
Limit visiting of the patient.
Mapatamo now. There was one this one was therapy. We can also use it as a test. That one, the concentration is not as high as the other. What the test is that we let you swallow it, and if we see that the gland has absorbed too much, we can visualize it at test. So you take it and then we visualize it to see how the this thing has absorbed. We call something, if some of you have learned before or come across it, it's called PET scan. Have you heard of PET scan before? PET scan.
Yes. Yes, sir. Positron emission test, yeah.
That's good. So this positron thing is just like the same mechanism as we are doing here. Cancerous cells, Emmanuel Kodwanane. Cancerous cells, they are just like my good friend Emmanuel Kodwanane. So when we put in that substance, you will see that if there are cancerous cells in the body, they would absorb more of that. So on the scan, areas that are highlighted will be areas that have absorbed more, and they are giving their position out as individuals. Semi-personalized as cancerous cells. Okay. So that is the context. It's the same thing with what we are doing right now. There's a story is told of 7 so-called pastors, religious men, very renowned, and a man told them that he has gold in his room, and there's a lot of chain and other stuff in it, and they are saying that he cannot touch it until they do libation, but he does not believe in their African traditional thing, so he wants the pastors to go and pray for him. Then they went in there. He told them that the light in the room is not working, so they have to pray in the dark. Do you know that this guy had put palm oil in a pot and said that it is gold for them to go and pray? Now, when the pastors has finished praying and then they came out, all of them had palm oil stains on their shirt. What do you think went on?
They were trying to steal.
They were trying to steal. They were trying to steal. Smart. They were trying to steal. This is how he can't trust any of them with his precious minerals, not even his wife. How do you have all the could drag Jim, say Jim instructor, man, the serene to hey. And also would dear like massage, they have massage for 2. I don't know if you've heard about it. Couple massage, very nice.
Yes.
You are there, she's there, then you guys do it together. Okay. When you are, it will be nice for you guys to have an instructor, then the 2 of you go together.
There must be answer.
What am I kind of saying?
I want to remove go so now we mother.
Mom Satan. Okay, so that is the therapy, and yes, the result is going to show us that you are having a hyperthyroid gland. Okay, a hyperthyroid gland, it is overproducing. So before the test, we have to, of course, see if you are pregnant or not. We confirm your age, that you are not a child, and we have to, even if you're a child, we have to adjust the doses. And then because this is an iodine test, we really want you to stop any other iodine so that this particular one will be in high demand. Sometimes a week or two prior to that, we let you know that how it can also be a little bit risky, but not too much. You are swallowing iodine 123. Iodine 123 is a milder form of the whole thing. Okay. Sometimes people, because the thing is taken orally, could have nausea and vomiting. Let's answer this question. All right, the answers are correct. I think people are understanding the whole trick. Let's answer this question. Hey, thyroid question there, Charlie. If you get thyroid question, it's sweet, eh? When I started answering my questions after the 10th question upwards, I got some thyroid. It was so easy. Like, I wish it was thyroid questions in 10. I wish. It's so easy to answer them, especially if you're lucky and you get them as a case study. That is even wonderful. Why did you pick that answer?
Because that one is just the test, it's the test, not the therapy. That one has less radioactive, whatever.
Wow. Well done, guys. Let's try. One hour, 29 minutes into the lecture. The other time I invited a nurse practitioner to my class and say, hey, oh yeah, dear, but a child. Yes, I'm better. Please, are you guys sleeping?
No.
Catch us will be nobody with him, would be nobody. Nanka won nanka walk to learn so share. Please obey, we are be mad. Never says a bush answer, but Obin can't tell us at Nasio.
Being cast 24th go crew.
Met mine is up 30 minutes, 30 minutes. Or mobile bounce one part, obey trace about what do like in a here and then. To get when you crowd to move or the way. Nyabro so have especially me man say be out me nya do stage bi na ade bi anka wakoma mu anka wonye no etimi tools nti dua kra say yehwe so yehwe nya say bi apese oyo but yehwe me kan kra wate o me kan kra ba me di agro pa go a ka asen bu go tia o se no asem abra yi kan nya me nim ne kra no woka no se o mu se o mu de ebe bi abeka ho se ese se kusie so onya fufu a obedi nso so se waduru ase de ben ne nkon enke ko mu anko di bi pa
Hey, Temu.
And some no is on the surface, but I actually could deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Now let's look at the medication that we used to treat. When I was
Asabi.
Yes, dear.
I just wanted to know with the test and the therapy, when can we indicate that we have to use therapy for this patient and then test for this patient? Or that it depends on the healthcare provider. He can just choose any of them.
I want you to answer
Okay.
yourself. When do
Okay.
you need a therapy and when do you need a test?
Okay, so I get it. Okay, I get it. So one, for the test, like diagnostic, like if we want to do the diagnostic test, we can go for the test. And then after we have known what is happening, we can give the therapy.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Thank
Well
you.
done. You're welcome. So let's look at the type of medications. When I was in the NTC, they gave me PTU. And then they said it puts thyroid under control, PTU. In fact, the name is proper thyrouracil. When I see the word uracil, mostly some cancer drugs ends with uracil. Yeah, some cancer drugs ends with uracil. So it tells me that this drug is a little bit of a cancer drug in nature. Proper thyrouracil, PTU. That is what we've been using until recently. I heard of the thioamide class of antithyroid medication. Thioamide. TIO. Thigh has something of the thyroid gland. And then it's amide class. And they bring the name metimazole. The last time I saw metimazole, I thought it was an antifungal. Guys, what do you think?
Yes, so
It's confusing.
Mhm.
Yeah, but they are using the Thai in it. So now, if I see any drug, even if it is metronidazole, I want to see that it's not having THI in it before I can conclude that this is not an antifungal or anything, right? If it has a THI, then I have to be careful. So metimazole is the new one that is also going on. And as a matter of fact, people have learned the proper thyroid, the PTU, a lot. And so the Nclex may not really bring that one. But the one that is not too popular, like the metimazole, they will bring it. Now, when you are on these medications, they act like cancer cells. So, like cancer medications, you may not get the classical alopecia and all those things, but then they can dampen your immunity, especially if a patient is having grave disease. The type of hyperthyroidism that has attacked the eyes and having the zoothermos, and then the immune system is at play. When you give this drug, it brings the immune system down, it dampens it. And so when that happens, there's a drop in the white blood cells. And this makes the person susceptible to infection, true or false?
True.
And then, of course, it's quite a hard drug for the liver. So you can also check for the liver. Now, in terms of pregnancy, there is something that you need to know about these medications. Which of them is a drug that you knew at first? Between PTU and metimazole, which one was popular to you?
PTU.
So in that case, PTU is the one used in the first trimester of pregnancy, right? Then the metimazole, we'll talk about the second and third trimester. Just relate to how you learned them. It makes it easy. It makes it quite easy. And if people want to go deeper into why they are so and so, it's up to them. You can go, but looking at myself as an average student, when you teach me past 1 hour, there are certain things you shouldn't try to even talk to me. This idea, some better men. My brain will just switch to difficult mode. You are teaching me, but they say difficult. Karoshuka, difficult. I don't go hear anything. Now, they said the best treatment, apart from some of these things, is to do a surgery. Now, for the surgeries, we have the total thyroidectomy, where we will take the whole thyroid gland away. And then we have the partial one, which I will show you. But before we even go on, look at it so well. If somebody does a total thyroidectomy, what do you think might have taken away? He might have taken away as well.
The parathyroid.
See the trick. And the parathyroid gland produces parathyroid hormone, which regulates what?
Calcium.
Okay, somebody said hello. Yes,
Hello.
please come in. Yes, dear.
Hi.
Ophelia here. Sister Ophelia.
I think her network dropped. She left.
She left.
Yeah, network dropped.
Awesome. Okay. So that was that for if you do total thyroidectomy, the parathyroid gland is gone. Now, if the parathyroid gland is gone, it means that calcium will not be well regulated, right?
Yes.
Yes,
And
sir.
one of the signs and symptoms of you having hypocalcemia is tetany. Yes, there is also another cardinal sign. There are two cardinal signs. We will talk about them again. Yeah. Okay. All right. So we move forward. Let's see what will happen. The most common type, and when they do it, the person is at risk of hypocalcemia, and then it will lead to tetany or muscle issues, muscle spasms, muscle weakness. You know, electrolytes like calcium or all the others, they are responsible for your nerves, fluid balance, and muscle function. So if they are imbalanced, you have those kind of signs. Today, the class has been stable between 79 and 81, with the average being 80 participants, which has been mostly about 7 active speakers plus Asamoah Boateng. How am I able to tell you all these things? Because there's an AI function on Zoom. But I'm not using it. I'm just using my description anyway. Okay, Chivostek sign and then Trasu sign. I should have allowed the students who learned the electrolyte imbalance say it, but for the sake of time, we have about 20 slides left, so I'll do it. I have to finish this lesson in about 2 hours. We are 1 hour 38 minutes, so let's say in the next 30 minutes I have to finish. Okay. So for Chivostek sign, it's like when a person's calcium levels are low, and then you stroke the person's cheek. Some books say you touch the cheek, some say you stimulate the cheek. The face is thrown into spasms. And guys, can you see my image? Can you see my face, please? Can everybody see my face?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, look at my face well and see if you can identify the spasm.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh no, sir.
Fatal.
Minimi yankasa. Ya woni ye mesika, onu ye Mr. Otua. Ene wodi odisika. Ene ye Mr. Wine. Odi.
Odisika Branty.
Ene ye Mr. Odi. Minimi ye.
Mmienu nyinaa.
Uni BBI.
Okay.
Oya dear.
Oh, yeah. Man, no,
Oya dear ye.
yeah.
Oya dear ye. Oya dear ye. Na waba hey.
Me say me extra, but in fact, papa you way dear.
Abroso.
Oye hyperbole. Brenda nyamia. Angel wo ma usa angel wo face so me do totoma no usa. Oh yeah, me ya arrangement of our between the man no ka be hu. Because when so was.
Me paucho.
What to ta wo ho. For be je wadema. On me bono for be je wadema. Okay. The other one is Trasil sign, which I always tell you guys, a student of mine, now is still on the page, Edwina. And then she would make fun of it because it's like when you are checking the person's blood pressure, as you tie the cuff, the thumb is forced between the middle and the ring finger, like this. Guys, can you see it?
Yep.
Yes.
And then she is saying that, hey, Trasil, trouser move. It's like trouser and something in between the trouser.
Hello?
She played with it. She got it on the Nclex, and then she
Hello?
described the nature of questions. Yes, please come in.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Asabi, please, I want to know about signs and symptoms of the hyperthyroidism. Can we add mood swing or brain fog? Where can we put it in the categories?
Put it everywhere. But for use the mood swing for every place. Just that the mood swing will be more of irritable related, so that it will work more for the hyper.
Like you mentioned, yeah.
And then for the hypo, you see that the mood will be low, timidity, dull. lethargic, obtunded. In my language, we say labo. The
Labo.
patient becomes laborious.
Labo.
Okay, so I'll place it there. So now, when I'm challenged with any sign and symptom, like you rightly asking, we look at the nature of how the word will behave and find a place for it, right? But if a person just use the word mood change, I wouldn't be too scared to choose it for everyone.
Yes, because it could be high, it could be low.
Yes, you could change from a high state to a low state and vice versa.
Okay. Secondly, please, I want to know after the
Please,
total.
sorry, Linda. If I tell you a name, it won't be darling. Trust me. You are writing on the screen. Honey, is that Edna? Yes. Edna, Fama Womo.
Please, the total thyroidism, apart from the complication, I mean the tightening muscle part and those things. What's the total? I learned after the total thyroidism, it's really okay. Some really okay about they get some complications under their thyroid. I don't know whether you get me.
I'm trying to get you, but the concept will be
it's really okay.
Yes. So this is the concept. I'm a Christian and the Bible says, if my right hand today it gets that I put it in some things, I do this, it becomes dirty. Then I go and wash it. I put, if this thing will hurt me and prevent me from going to heaven by doing this, the Bible is saying I should cut it away.
Okay.
Now, when I cut it away, unless there's a physiology or a mechanism that it regrows, my trouble is gone. If you do total thyroidectomy, the trouble is gone. What you are describing will likely occur when you leave some residuals behind.
Okay.
Yes. It happened to Israelites. There was a time in the Bible they were to go to war and they were to kill everything, but they thought that morality works, and so they spared a small boy and the grandmother. So the war continued. But I mean, yeah. Yes. So that is. So, my dear, that is the concept. If you take the whole thyroid gland again out, where do you have thyroidectomy and hyperthyroidism again? Because the one that is producing it is gone. So the concept will come in, and that is something with endocrine disorders. And I would side with you, not to make it like you don't know what you are saying, is because we humans don't like too much of everything. We tag too much of everything as bad. So a patient was having too much glucose in the blood, we say it's diabetes. We don't like it. Hyper and glycemia. ASP. Sorry, ASP, but and so we want to treat it. Now, the concept is, whilst we are treating the high state, we can send it to too low. Sometimes we say that if it is producing too much, if something is producing too much in the body, we will take it out. Now, we go and take it out, then we realize that, hey, there is none in the body too. So we decide to now give it ourselves. As we give it, we realize that we are not even perfect. We can even give and overgive it. So the condition, as you are saying, can reoccur, not because the structure is still there, but because of what we humans have done. The healthcare practitioners. You get me now, my dear? Does it make sense a little bit?
Yes, please.
Voice no for me, Pacho. Would DBB Anna?
Yes, please. Pacho baby.
Oshimana.
Hey, Mr.
And
I was a link with ASP on the movement bed. What did one?
Me Ghana, more Montreal, more Canada.
Now what judge man as use ASP no?
Oh, that you. Me Yes, me, yeah, you. What the bedding come
You bedding come on, okay.
Higher,
Babi edi me bi emre ho.
higher, abonting.
Ne kwana hye me de pa.
Wow.
Ne kwana hye me de.
Higher, and none waka.
Okay.
It's
Adelaide
many
today be
great
today.
person by hour. Many
Oh, be
great.
you. ASP.
Yes, sir.
Be me bi ni
Yes,
ho
sir.
ma ba mse afeli. Me ka kire
Yes, sir.
na
Yes, sir.
enche bia na me ka kire Ferdinand. Guys, were you here when I was telling Ferdinand? Ka kire no be. Oh, Nancy na me ka kire Ferdinand was Charlie me. O ko kire bai. Na ni ji agen. And I will tell you something after the class so that you guys learn. Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, my dear sister, mostly for the total thyroidectomy is gone. We don't expect residuals. If there was any residuals, that it was human, something I would describe as iatrogenic. Do you understand iatrogenic, guys? Iatrogenic. If you say something is iatrogenic. Oh.
Caused by the health.
Yes, caused by the healthcare provider. If it is nephrogenic, it's coming from what? The kidneys, right?
Yes.
So whatever genic means where it's coming from. Cryptogenic, we don't know. It's from the coding of the genetics. Cryptogenic cystic fibrosis. Neurogenic from the central nervous system. Iatrogenic from the healthcare system. Okay. All right. So Chivostek sign is when you stroke the cheek is thrown into spasms. And then for Trasu, can somebody repeat after me? Somebody who've not said it before. Trasu. As we are joking with it, we will move forward. Then the one that didn't try to say it, say, oh, the other one, oh, Wasabi, the one who said, me, I won't mind you. You'll be searching. You know it. When you see it, you see it, but you don't know how to pronounce it. Minimum locations.
Trust you.
Chivostek. And if you call it chick, it even helps you know what is going on, right? Yeah, and trust you. And these are occurring because there is what?
Low calcium levels in the blood.
So on your Nclex, they are going to use terminologies that ever since you were born, you've not heard before. Induction of the capopedal when spasms. Sometimes they say it's lateral, sexual, contralateral, the choroidis, the curantum muscles. Omoboa. Take your time, look at the theme of the question, and you see that no, they are talking about Trasu, they are talking about Chivostek. Guys, are you with me?
Yes.
Now let's go to the subtotal. McClemick made a fun of a student where he says that the student went to write the Nclex. They didn't ask subtotal, so he couldn't answer. And then McClemick asked, what did they write? He said he wrote partial. Now, if they don't say subtotal, they say partial. I mean, and you know. So, guys, please let me say it here so that you also go and not tell me that I beg you. It's the same thing. Total, whole, complete, full, they mean one thing. Subtotal, partial, half, part, and all those things. You should. These are just English words. Incomplete, well done. That's a fantastic way. So before you could see it was full down here. After you could see it, dear Edna, a letter to Auntie Edna. Edna, I'm a 16-year-old boy. I have been playing with my body. Please advise me. Oh, you remember those kind of letters when they publish them? They say anonymous. Because some say anonymous. What you say yes? What do you body anonymous? Anonymous and get able to So it's like this. Let's say this is how the gland look. Oh, sorry for that marker. Let me use color green on this image. Please, can you see the green marking? So it's like two cockroaches when they are intact. Then you see over here, there's only one cockroach left. The other one is gone. Now, this story that I'm going to tell you could be true, could be false, but we don't care. If it helps us answer our questions, why not? Feeling tired, all right, but I promise to make sure I make you understand this thing before I close. And what it is. What is it? When people undergo partial thyroidectomy, the little that is left sometimes try to produce after the surgery. When they recover, they try to produce hormones. Of course, they should produce because they are still thyroid cells over there. Sometimes it becomes so intelligent to the extent that it realizes that it is half, it is not full. So it will rather produce frequently, heavily, plenty, times 2, times 3, tele, extra large, or balls again. Those are the type that this leftover wants to produce. Meanwhile, after surgery, metabolism was close because we put you to sleep and all those things. And the surgeon is unsure when you are resuming. So the surgeon probably gave you some levothyroxine or an artificial sort of the thyroid hormones just to keep you producing small until your leftover gland takes up. But sometimes this one that the doctor is giving go and meet the hyper production by the little one that is also left. And then you end up getting an extreme hyperthyroid production state. Not just the usual hyperthyroidism, but this one, akosra broso. When you be in Mecca, say you and catch and say abruso. So that is that type. And when it happens, imagine metabolic activities of the body going over the ceiling. You can even have a BP with the systolic alone 120, the diastolic alone 120. And for the systolic, somewhere above 220. And then the brain becomes so powerful that it crosses the BBB. And then the person becomes delirious. So the person is confused, hallucinating, having delusions. And somebody said over here in the past that are illusions. And I said I will address it here. So this is the state. And we call it thyroid storm. So it's just a hyper state where temperatures go up, heart rate goes up, BP goes up, the person becomes psychotic in nature. It's just too much. So if you've heard of thyroid storm somewhere, this is what we mean by thyroid storm, and it's not a joke. To be honest with you, in the olden days, all that you have to do is to reassure the patient. In the worst case scenarios, you could give some cold blankets, or maybe some books will say provide oxygen. But I'm telling you guys, be honest with us. You have work on the ward. Forget about what the textbook is saying. When a person is in that high state and very irritable, do you think the oxygen will remain intact? Be honest with me.
Yeah.
But they will throw it away. Yes, we are on the ground and we know what patients do. So sometimes textbook, when they go and do the PhD and they are in the classroom, they think say what? If you're on ground, you know what is the patient will throw it away. Sometimes you may even be forced to restrain, but it's not even the best. So you open it up, then like I'm saying, cooling measures and all that. Don't leave the bedside. Anything can happen. It's either the patient bounce back or dies. Two things involved. You're not giving Tylenol to bring the temperature down because it's not coming from the hypothalamus. This is not that kind of situation. This is from the thyroid gland and it's from the metabolic hormones. So it's not something Tylenol is going to help at all. Just don't leave the bedside. Now, let me give you general tricks in answering some questions as far as surgery is concerned. When you bring somebody from surgery, in the first 12 hours, mostly the airway should be the priority, especially looking at a surgery like what we just did, which is on the neck. Airway is an issue there. Then hemorrhage, every patient that was cut can bleed, true or false?
True.
So you have to inspect the site, right? If the dressing is soaked or not.
Yes.
And then for the hemorrhaging, if it is in the neck, sometimes you see the patient is swallowing too much.
Yeah.
Then you have to know, say, but if it is after the first, normally, in science, we give range, or in medicine, we give range. So let's say after 24 hours, if you don't want to say 24 hours as an absolute number and you want to give a range, we say between 12 and 48 hours, right?
Yes, sir.
After that one, we will know whether the patient went for a total thyroidectomy or a subtotal. If it was a total, then the person will have tetany and all those hypocalcemia symptoms. So total is the one that is bringing the tetany. Tetany means muscle spasms, right here. So the total is what is bringing the tetany. And then the subtotal will lead to storm. So listen to the flair in the language. Total, tetany, subtotal, storm. Total, tetany, subtotal, storm. My question, if a patient undergoes total thyroidectomy, what 2 cardinal signs are you looking for?
Low calcium.
Trasu sign and Shiva's test.
After 72 hours, that's where you think about the infections and all those things. So me, first day, if your temperature is going up, I don't think of infection, I think of something else. Okay. And yes, it has a general risk to these operations, including scarring of the voice and all that. Let's answer this question. Obia treachery is queen in it. I see it.
ACP. ASP was ACP.
Oh, ACP. What treachery is queen in it? Menya nanka nkrofo hamsin ka menimu bia menimebi bia te menimu bia adwuma oye enti nka bia wo hia mo bi pe chale kente no obi wo ho no waje boss me pacho yese with the cars ye adwuma kabedo mo do ka tako na so unse bia se de obi wo ho pese oba on chen a pese o keep the business no strictly business my bar for class tremade shut up and go away shut up.
Asabi.
Ben de so careful ebusia wo chia me kakra me chia na ye ya nanka ye de.
But these people won't come.
Okay, I also agree. The number 2 is for the symptoms. So when they are receiving a beta blocker, it's not because it is treating it, but yeah, for the same reasons. Okay. Now let's go to hypothyroidism. Straight to the point.
Hello,
Let's look at.
Asabi. I want to
Hi.
ask a question.
Go ahead.
I want to find out after thyroidectomy, how many days is the patient supposed to stay before prescribing levothyroxine?
It's mostly depends on the surgeon and what they think. I even think these days they do better, and so they know a very good regime that will prevent everything. And in my opinion, I think just the day after surgery, the patient should resume. Why do you ask that? Is there anything peculiar that keeps you worried?
Yes, so recently we witnessed a similar case in our ICU. Thyroidectomy was done, and the patient was not put on levothyroxine. So about the 10th day, I prompted the attending doctor. Then she told me that the duration is 14 days. So the patient is still within the window period. And then unfortunately, the patient was exhibiting all these signs of thyroid storm. So I kept prompting them, but it looks like house officer, I need to consult my boss, long channel of communication. So unfortunately, we lost the patient.
Oh.
They prescribed the levothyroxine.
No.
That was the very day that we lost the patient.
Not prescribing was even the safer choice. What do you guys think?
Yeah, because if
the storm is gonna add up.
Yes.
But sir, was it was it the total or it was a partial? I guess it was a partial then. Because if not, how are they getting the thyroid storm?
Yes. So it tells you it was partial.
Hey.
It's partial. But it was a very good thing to have alerted the physician and also to be told the protocol of 2 weeks. Okay. But I think also there is one aspect that of nursing that seeks for us to work with evidence-based practice. If the literature is saying 2 weeks as per adapted by a hospital to be a policy, a very good practice will be to keep checking the patient's thyroid levels continually to determine what is happening, and then based on that to intervene. Guys, what do you think?
Right.
Yes.
So maybe if after the partial thyroidectomy things were not done, they could have introduced the thioamide groups, right? Maybe the metimazole, some night be on once every night to see what they will get. Then they could have worked on that. All the same, we pray that the patient will rest well. Please, when you come to the ward and then you realize that I have done partial thyroidectomy and you're prompting him and he's not listening, can you please call my wife? All right. That is just by the way. But it's good she brought it up. So I've learned something. Have you? I've got to know that in some jurisdictions they wait 2 weeks. So I've added it to mine though. So you should add it to yours. That's why we say people should bring if you know something, don't bring it on board. It does not help. Now that I've heard this, I'm going
Therefore,
to no
you
matter
have all
what.
been educated. Yeah.
Yes, I'm going to search it. No matter what, I will never sleep on this. I'm telling you, say I will search it. And if it happens to be true, you see the way the next time I will say it with authority as if I know Bukama. That is how I do it. So let's share with each other, okay?
Hello, Asabi.
Hi.
Please, I want to know something.
Is this
If
Zico?
you do a test, yes, please.
Zico, did you grow up in the Suyabua area?
Come again?
Were you ever in the barracks?
My daddy was, my daddy is late, but he was in
a soldier.
Yes.
Hey, Balas girl.
Where?
And near
Emma
Jane.
camp.
Emma camp.
Asabi wulu to yato.
Mediloto. Okay.
Sorry.
I have no reason to ask. I don't even know why I asked, to be honest with you. Just ask your question, my dear.
And my daddy died in 37 too.
Oh, may he so rest in peace.
When was that?
Oh, that was
Yes,
2012.
No, me they said about
2012.
Yeah.
2012.
2012, I was still a nursing student.
Yeah.
May he so rest in peace.
That's
okay.
Amen.
Let's go ahead with what you want to say, my dear.
Please, my question is, if you run a test, thyroid function test, does the lab shows the parathyroid? Does it show? Because I've realized it only showed the T3 and the T4.
That's a very good question. I think one way you can examine if the parathyroid gland is working is checking your calcium levels. What do you think?
And please come again.
I said one way of checking if your parathyroid gland is working is checking your calcium level. What do you think?
Okay.
So this principle is applied in astrophysics. There is something called dark matter and dark energy. We don't know what it is. We don't know where they're from, but we can measure their effects, right? So the effects that you produce, and this is coming from an ethical principle where we call it teleological principle. It says that the end justifies the means. Like you could get a man, you see, if not for aesthetic purposes, we've seen men who come with like a curved penis, okay? This is medicine we are discussing, not something bad. A curved penis. If there is an aspect or a sex position that can accommodate that penis, I don't think it's a problem, especially if the man can give birth. What do you think?
Yes,
Yes.
the main functions are being performed.
Are being performed. But
you
people
like
look
the
at
function.
it
I like
and
the
think,
function.
and think that it's not like the normal ones, and so we should work on it, right? So if your hypo, we took a look at it, and there is, let's say, a tumor on the thyroid gland, and it's partly lying on the parathyroid gland as well. However, the parathyroid gland functions are 100% okay. I don't think we should worry much. It's like students who wants to do research by all means. Everybody go and bring your research questions. Then he goes to his hometown and see that there is one car there, and this car have only one traffic regulator light. The headlamp is only one. And so he thinks that cars should have two headlamps. Meanwhile, this one headlamp, no, a bright crack and train no use ukrumu. So what then makes it a problem? Okay. So dear, I think yes, but as you've said, maybe I'll have to check and see what other means and ways we can also check the parathyroid gland. I think it's a separate test that we do. And apart from, we can use scans and imaging to view the morphology and anatomy of the parathyroid gland. And then we can use its hormonal actions, i.e. calcium regulation, to test its functional abilities. Okay. Yes.
So if your calcium is normal and your T3 is high and T4 is normal, does it mean your thyroid function test is normal?
T3 is normal.
T3 is high.
Uh-huh.
But T4 is normal.
Sometimes stress. This sounds like stress to me. One kasa na one can lapse on. Can you correct me? Stress. Ohima, pegenesis more day on. Thank me later.
Fair. Hello, fair.
No one loves no name discussing. No one loves. The menu say by phone. O questions not the menu. And the pegenesis more day in Shadadin so her catching service rawa when you bought no to boas na on your corner hoka crank. Yi moons radin na fe bet 2 one so titre be see at form no wakas one be bounce. The guy say maybe na Ghana city you come from na so phobia kofa $. Say dollars to the city go up I could yeah child and I'm say I'm about damn say stock market no above for no operate.
But
Hello, fair.
yes.
So good
Hello, fair.
yes dear.
You'll be fair.
Please, what about who doing the thyroid function test? Every the T4, T3, T4 is normal. Your calcium level is normal. But you still some of the signs and symptoms within you.
Then it means it's probably not from your thyroid. They are not the only ones that can make you feel high. Sometimes even broken heart can make you feel high. On a lighter note, we have broken heart syndromes that have caused people for there is actually a condition like that.
Really?
Yes, there is a broken heart syndrome that can lead to open heart surgery. Yes. Life, if you don't learn how to control your emotions, that is why we went through the pituitary gland. There's another one, the pineal gland. Before you super. So the pituitary gland, in order for you to control it, you need to learn some of the things we've learned. Try to stay down one day quietly. Don't talk to anybody. Just listen to how you breathe for just 3 minutes. Keep doing that. People call it meditations. But just try and be calm. Void yourself of outside environment. Don't think of anything else. Keep doing that. It resets the body. We need to control our body. Yeah.
Actually, this lab is mine. I did some lab last year. Everything is normal, but the doctor asked me to go and do some scan. When I did the scan, to do nitrate my thyroid, they said there's some noodles and cyst in it. So I don't know. And the doctor
The
told me
T3, T4 was normal, calcium was normal. What was the TSH?
So the TSH is actually
check it.
I didn't check.
That is where the problem is. It's the TSH. Normally, the TSH points us up there. So whatever the TSH is doing will help us know where the problem is coming from. So let me take this opportunity to teach you guys this thing. So TSH, if it is down, in the case of hyperthyroidism, T3 and T4 will be what, guys?
Will be high.
If you have
if it is down.
Say again.
You said if TSH is down.
Yes, T3 and T4 will be up in the case of hyperthyroidism. But when you see, and the result is that your body is trying to compensate. That is why it has shut this one down. Okay. But if these are up and TSH is still up, the issue is not from the thyroid gland itself. It's from the regulatory mechanism, which is the pituitary gland. Are you with me?
Yeah.
So for the fact that the T3, T4 are up, that one tells us of hyperthyroidism. Then we want to know where it's coming from. Is it because TSH is still up, meaning it's coming from the pituitary gland? Or even if it is down, then means that yes, you are just having hyperthyroidism, but the pituitary gland is fine. Guys, are you with me?
Yes, Sabi.
That is what it means. Sometimes you could get the T3 and T4 normal, but you see the TSH misbehaving. Other things come into play. Then it tells you that maybe the TSH is having the right production, but the cells there are not responding to it. Why? Because maybe there's a growth on it. There is something pushing it outside where it's supposed to be. Then we begin to think about that. So the golden standard here for those high labs, if I were a doctor, will go straight ahead to do imaging tests. Are you with me? And I got this in my midterm exams during my NP school, nurse practitioner school. Do an imaging, visualize what is happening there if you're not sure. It's like in medicine or in medical practice, you don't want to incur too much charges on the patient. Are you with me? And then I say, I'm with me. Also, the one somebody so about I don't know what the list are.
Yeah.
Me and the bro, but I Black American. You know what I mean? So yeah. You feel me? You feel me? And then the boxers will be doing like, so when I dab them, that I hit them, Hey, everybody. All right, so guys, let's move on. We have limited time. Let's finish this. We are on slide 42 or 50. 59, sorry. So I hope all questions have been answered a bit. To be honest with you, when it comes to teaching and then people bringing their personal problems, it's quite uncomfortable for the teacher. And I think you guys should agree, right?
Yeah.
We have experts in those fields that do. Sometimes theoretical knowledge is different from practice. And when it comes to practice, preference is a choice. You could have so many principles underlying how you treat something, but preference depends on who the consultant is and who the team of care are and what they want to achieve. In certain cases, they want to maintain the normal thyroid hormones. In other cases, they rather want to maintain the pituitary gland function. So it depends on the goals of treatment and what they actually want to do. For hyperthyroidism, we were able to give the signs and symptoms. So we will do same for hypothyroidism. But I want to just emphasize the fact that the T3 and T4 levels are low is a state of hypothyroidism. And then we call it misedema. Mis is coming from muscle. The reason is that even the heart and everything is low, so there's no pumping. Fluid begin to accumulate in the muscles. To some extent that everything slow down, you can even go to coma. And that type of coma will be called misedema coma. Everything of yours falls flat, then you die with it. Can you imagine? So when they were doing something in those days, they used to call mercy killing. Have you heard of that before? The classical term is what? ETHU, euthanasia. Have you heard of it before?
Yeah.
Yes. It's like we, the healthcare workers, are helping you to go end your suffering for you.
Yeah.
They were doing that to some criminals where they want to kill them, but not making them suffer much, but they just want to move them. They don't deserve to live. That's what they thought. And so there are principles. You could use too much insulin so it will reduce. And that one you just make the patient sleep. Then you give the insulin. So the patient won't feel the actual symptoms whilst alive. Or better, sana the sugar, yes, the sugar will drop below normal, then he just go. Or there is a principle to just decrease extremely the thyroid levels. All metabolic functions will decrease, then it will go. People thought serious soldiers were lethal, but I'm telling you, a very bad doctor among soldiers is dangerous. He can kill a lot. He just need to inject one person with one good virus, and then he will put on his PPE. That's all. One command on Okay. All right. So let's look at these people. Between diarrhea and constipation, what can happen with a patient with hypothyroidism?
Constipation.
Would they like to be in the heat or they would want to be at cold places?
In the heat. In the heat.
I'm
Heat
confused now.
tolerance.
Cold
In the
place.
heat. It's cold tolerance.
So
Cold place
are they
is the
feeling
opposite.
cold
Heat
or
tolerance.
are they feeling cold or they are
We are
feeling warm?
feeling cold.
They are feeling
Yeah.
cold.
So where would they
Cold.
want to be?
In the
In the
heat.
heat.
Yes. Heat
Does it make sense
tolerance.
now, guys?
Yes,
The
Asa.
The way
heat
they are
tolerance.
eating, what is the nature of their digestive system?
Slow.
Slow.
So do you think they will gain weight or lose weight?
They will gain
Gain
weight.
weight.
Slow.
Do you think they will be nourished even though they are retaining fluid?
No.
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 Even though they are
Gain
retaining
weight.
fluid, but they will not be hydrated, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so they will even have oh Obi mommy feedback oh Linda. Linda mommy feedback oh. Oh, Sister Linda. Me person Nyankopon so ma no na me de padlock to ma no.
She
Na
she
me
made an offense again.
Enye.
na nye ye wo ho menka. Okay. All right. So constipation, menstrual irregularities is just a way to say it. Now, I will teach you something, but let's go to what will cause somebody to have hypothyroidism. My first question, if somebody have hyperthyroidism and it is autoimmune in nature, what do we call it?
Graves.
Now, a doctor in Japan was able to identify another one. So we call that one, we call if your cause of hypothyroidism is autoimmune, we call it Hashimoto thyroiditis. You try it. Hashimoto.
Hashimoto thyroid.
Thyroiditis.
Okay. So that is also so when if we were to do some quiz and I say grave disease is to hyperthyroidism as
Hashimoto hypothyroid.
Hypothyroidism.
Yeah. And simply because people are not eating iodine, they are not making the hormones. Or maybe you went for a surgery, right? Or a radiation therapy that took away your thyroid. Or probably because you didn't form well in your mother's womb. Certain medications we've been told could affect the way your thyroid glands work, like lithium amiodarone. So please take note of the amiodarone. Because of amiodarone will be used in these cardiac arrhythmias, right? But in certain people they will not give them because of their thyroid function. Now we are going to give you medications. The good news is that you are going to take this medication hopefully lively for life, especially if it was a total thyroidectomy. And you're going to take this medication first thing in the morning. You should take it on an empty stomach so that it will absorb. Why? We want to prevent drug to drug interaction. Please do understand that, right?
Yes.
And then sometimes drug to food interaction too. Okay. So empty stomach. Remember, we answered the question that was talking about we taking levothyroxine with calcium. Remember something like that?
Yes.
Then we didn't even pick it. Now we know that we're not supposed to take it with any medication at all. Even if the patient is going on surgery, sometimes the physicians will say MPO, little steps with medications. If they know that the patient is on thyroid medication, they can sometimes say give it to them. Other times they can say you wait. Okay. So is that type of drug that if they say MPO, you have to call the doctor and ask, doc, do I give the level or stop? Then whatever he says. In fact, MPO is MPO, and if you don't give it, you are not going to be charged as a nurse. But if the definition of nursing exceeds you just acting on orders, and you understand the business or the job to be like you are even advocating for the patient, then you should talk to the doctor about it. Okay, we are not just covering our asses and not putting ourselves in trouble. It is also has everything to do with what we do for the patient or the hospital at large. Now, goiter, you've heard people talk about goiter, right?
Yes.
Goiter is just a term expressing that the thyroid gland is large. Technically speaking, in technical terms, you can have an enlarged thyroid gland if the body is not getting enough iodine. If you have too much of iodine too, you can have it. So if it's swelling like this, it could be that you have too much iodine and you've produced too much of the thyroid glands that has been stored plenty and it has enlarged. The moment we see it enlarged, we give you the term goiter. Another thing is that you are not eating enough. So the body, as a means to draw iodine to it, intentionally enlarge the surface areas so that thinking if it is enlarged, there will be more blood supply, which will then bring whatever iodine is trapped in the blood. So goiter can be for hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, or even in a true thyroid state. Okay. So iodine deficiencies or stimulations can all lead to that. Let's answer this question as a test of what you've studied so far. Those who did electrolytes, more is expected from you.
Going to answer on the screen.
Slide 47 or 59. Maud.
Sir.
Daben Yeshia this week.
This week. Sir, but I just let me check him if he's here.
It's a Tuesday.
This weekend.
Wednesday. Thursday. And Saturday.
And then Friday.
Oh, yeah, one.
But man being on any relationship who say they will only have sex when the day begins with a T. And Saturday being or twice and is yeah day and it was sorry me
That's Saturday.
And it
Sabi you.
Yes, Atasa. That was when Atasa was coming into existence. I think so we've met more than 3 times this week. Angel or
I'll try.
which of these won't you pick as an answer? Be truthful and honest with me. Okay. Angel or
What happened?
which diagnosis do you think this patient is having?
Hypercalcemia. Hypercalcemia. Hyperthyroidism.
Okay. Did they treat it?
Yes, total thyroidectomy was done.
After a total thyroidectomy, what are you expecting?
After that, the patient will be having frequent swallowing because.
Please, can you allow the witch to talk, please? Start by 4 years.
Yes, it has been treated with the total thyroidectomy.
Okay. So after that surgery, what's up? What do you think? What can happen?
So since the whole thyroid has been
Like that
removed,
approach. I like that phrasing. Since the whole thyroid has been removed,
so calcium.
Start with the parathyroid and go that way. Since the whole thyroid gland has been removed, it suggests that the parathyroid gland has also been removed. Then continue.
Yes. So there wouldn't be production of calcium.
There wouldn't be adequate regulation of calcium, right?
Yes.
So what can happen?
Thinking around the lips.
Hypocalcemia.
Yes.
So which one of these wouldn't you pick as an answer?
Hypercalcemia should be out.
Honey, did you pick it as part of your answers? Bibusama Benifo.
Talk the word.
Yeah, so it is very dangerous to even pick that answer, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, the body in abeche. But boni eti hypocalcemia de. On fanche wasasi so ana osoro beba wachina no kra. Okay, so well done. I hope you because your explanations understanding is just perfect, right? It's just a little trick that got you. Yeah. The first time I answered, why did you add the 5 to your answer? You talk to me.
Tingling around the lips.
Not
So
you.
I asked. Okay.
Did you pick 5?
No, I didn't pick it.
So
But
why are you
later
answering?
on,
Why are you answering? The bomb is a bomb by your home.
Later on, I realized it was supposed to be parts. Actually,
is coming.
Why should it be part? You are
after
forcing
I thought
yourself to
about
take the
it,
question. Okay.
after I thought about it, tingling around the lips means like anything. We established that anything that is like hyper like tingling, like
Is that what we established? Be a hype be a. And it's a Ghana for you no crowd a high life into any and kajai. Any other?
Ghana for you high life.
We have expected the Chauvistic sign.
Titney.
The
So
tingling.
the tingling, well, in fact, the tingling around the lips is you call it secumora. Have you heard of that before?
Yes, sir.
Secumora, yes. What's up with that? Why are you picking it? Tingling because there's an electrolyte imbalance. It's as simple as that, right? And in fact, the first time I answered the question, I didn't add it because my understanding of it was a little bit low. I think this was in 2023. Can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Yes. So you could see I didn't pick it.
The hoarseness.
It's part. So the operated.
Is it a complication or a minor, let's say?
It depends on how you describe it. But if it is a select order to apply, it depends. Hoarseness exists in degrees
Could
that
be
people.
airway, airway
Yeah.
obstruction.
That's why I didn't pick it. I thought it was a.
It's okay. If you didn't pick it, it's okay. Whatever you pick is correct. You're still on, right? The fact that you didn't pick 3, or did you?
No, I didn't pick 3.
No, him. 3 no dear. And I'm gonna say apart from sister before, but then we issue with 3 no. Everybody is okay. If you don't pick 3, it's okay. Let's try this question too. Does the free change anything?
No, sir.
No, doesn't change anything.
That is slow.
Hey, enti wakuma mu no woyɛ okay. Sɛ wowɔ sika nka wobɛtumi de ahyɛ me nkran sɛ menkyerɛ adeɛ na woba free class no na wabɛyɛ a wonim wakoma mu sɛ ade wei yɛ ade ɛboa wo no woyɛ okay. Hey, kyɛle manyɛ wiase saa o memfrɛ ka ama ma wo but wakɔ wakoma mu kɔ wadwem sɛ oh ɛyɛ at least deɛ woyɛ is okay yɛmmoa no na ɔntimi nyɛ yi ɛnyɛ yi bia wɔtumi koraa adwe yɛn ho sɛ obia na genuinely yɛni ahoɔden a yɛde bɛyɛ nti once a while no wɔyɛ free class na wode ɛnyɛ ne saa wode wakoma wode ayi Ghana Brewery Company for pipeline no wajoin ne abɛto wakoma mu ɛna waburu akoma no sɛ nlalan wasere hwɛ me so da mɛkyerɛ adeɛ na nkɔfoɔ face ɛnso bi koraa menim ne da o na sɛ mehwɛ ne face a wɔsere hyɛ me yes I may hallucinate paa during lectures. Enje wanza
trying.
nti meto anyenye la kupala kura en hawadwe nye hwe okay.
There, na said there, we see there my foul trick in the pa.
If you are able to, in the storms of life, still make a very healthy decision. Me, when they asked me to, if I were the one going to select that 300 men that follow Gideon or whatever, I wouldn't have used the water test. I'll make a huge noise because I knew they were going to make noise. They were going to encircle Jericho. So I'll use the sound test. In the midst of loud noise and chaos, can you still reason well? When you are very anxious, tense, and all that, can you still pick answers? Then you will be my commander. Move with me. I like such people. Calm the situation down with the joke and let's move on. Which one won't you pick as an answer?
Weight loss.
The warm, the weight
And
loss.
the weight loss.
First one.
Instead of warm, what would you have expected?
Cold.
And then instead of moist,
Dry
Dry
skin.
skin.
Guys, is it difficult?
No, sir.
Was this laboratory investigation enough to tell you the diagnosis?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
What was the diagnosis?
Hypothyroidism.
How did you know that it's hypothyroidism?
There is
Because
free
it's high.
Are you saying there's free HSS? I don't hear what you're saying. Free HSS, right?
As the truth of the matter is, I didn't even check the lab result too. But when I noticed the bradycardia code, like all the signs and symptoms was for the hypothyroidism, that's why
That is the truth of your matter. Please don't let it ever be a truth. Read laboratory test. That is what is the truth.
Because it's a mixture of both. Yeah.
When I was young, I wanted to prove to my dad that I was smart. So I told him, said, Dad, we used to have 5 CDs, which was a note. Remember those days? Those who were born in the 90s. There was a 5 CD note, not current 5 CDs. So an old 5 CD was almost purple or violet in color. And then, yes. No, it was CDs before we came.
No, 500 CDs. It was 500.
No, before we moved to cities, we were in Peswes and Kasa. We were in Peswes, and then we came to eat the cities again, and then we changed the currency to a lower strength. Some more kaipa. Okay, be our 70 bond, and I say be able to convert do split. So when he gave me that money, what I did was I was like, Daddy, I didn't know I won't mommy coins. Said they be about na kabako. No, so okay. First, oje paper no. And I'm papa ye no coins bibiri. Sa akra de. And what the man to the mame. And what say hwe mame. And what the mu ba ko pe no se je ba ko pe ne fa ko. Wokọ na wo yira na woni bibio. Sa why wa adwene se me ma wo coins na wokọ a wokọ yira ba ko amana ka ba ko dia. Ene fa ne se we mu ayira na aka ba ko ntifa ko bra. Semwamba. Para boni betu pa nyire boni. Like
father, like son.
Afterwards, then I decided that okay, yeah, I shouldn't make such horrible suggestions. In the military, it happens when you are on parade. The big man will like, guys, is there anything at my level? Like normally they ask because there are certain things beyond whoever is there. Any questions? Any suggestions?
Boss, you don't allow us to hear the gist about the Ghana citizen. Because we too are interested in it.
Which one?
The money your father gave you.
You want it in English? So there was one note that was 5 equivalents of 5 of our cities. Okay, but as a young boy, I thought it would have been nice if I had coins, which would give me 5 in terms of quantity, as compared to one single note with a value of 5. In that case, when that single note gets lost or when I miss it, I lose it all. But if it were to be coins, at least if one gets lost or missing, I still have about 4 left to keep. So this was a humble suggestion to my dad, who took it in good faith as in trying to exchange the note with coins for me. But he gave me the coins and then said, you know what, give it to me back. Then he gave me only 1 coin back and gave me the situation that consider all the other 4 coins lost. Now you have 1. So go and take good care of it, manage it. Because it looks like I have purported to always lose coins or lose money. Because I'm not the one producing. So so that was the case between me and my dad. And the lesson was quite learned that it doesn't matter what I have to value it and not pretend that it will lose or no.
Be responsible.
Yes.
You learned it the hard way.
Now Now we will learn the lesson now. Not only more to
I check you,
understand it.
Asabi. I check you, Sunny.
You're right, Sandy. You
Said
fought
I've
the
also
right
learned the lesson.
fight. That's why I kept him. Oh, this admin is strong. You see, had it not been him, the lesson would have flew over the board like that. And I was going to the military one where when you make suggestions, then they will ask you, what is your number, rank, and name? Sometimes in their minds, there are certain ranks and names you shouldn't make wise suggestions. Sometimes when they say, put your hand down, put your hand down, keep quiet. And sometimes they will be nice to you and say, command is away. That means he's not sending the message there. He himself is not sending, because it's like you, the small boy, is telling him to send it up. And when he says command is already aware, put your hand down. It means that he's not going to carry it. Okay. All right. Well done, guys. Let's try this question too. Let's read together. The nurse in the emergency department is caring for a client recently diagnosed with grave disease who was admitted following a motor vehicle accident. The nurse knows the vital sign as shown in the exhibit. I'll click on the exhibit soon. The nurse alerts the primary healthcare provider that the client may be experiencing which condition. Let's go and look at the exhibit. I think they want to tell us that this was the time he came on admission. Probably this 1 hour after, and this is 2 hours, right? I think so.
Yeah.
If you look at the temperature, it is 7.7 or 36.5, 37.2. It looks like it is in a step ladder fashion. It's increasing, right? Crescendo.
Yes, yes.
As the blood pressure.
The blood pressure too.
Yeah,
Yes,
everything
it's
is
also going.
all of them.
And then the pulse
Also going.
also going. Respiration
Also going high.
also
Likewise,
going.
going up.
I think this is quite variable,
Fluctuating.
right?
Yeah.
It's variable. It goes down a little bit and comes up. So at least we have that everything is going up a little bit in our minds, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So we can go back and visit the question and see what they mean. Now, the nurse in the emergency department has done what? Can't you guys use people in Opoku ward and Kwesimin team department also? Every day, the nurse in the emergency department is caring for a client recently diagnosed with grave disease. So, grave disease, what type of condition do you think it is?
Autoimmune hyperthyroidism.
Autoimmune hyper.
And then the nurse have shown that he said it was recently diagnosed. That means it's not what the patient is having right now, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So if it was diagnosed, does it mean it was a problem? That's why it was diagnosed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I said oh yes, no.
Yes.
It was a problem. So the patient might have reported to the hospital. It's in the health records, isn't it? Because that's how the nurse will know, right?
Yes, sir.
So it was a recent diagnosis. Is it, if it's a recent diagnosis, is it something that we can treat?
Yes. It's
So
recent, yes.
and then we have so many treatment modalities, true or false?
True.
What are some of the methods we could treat this condition?
Remove the thyroid.
Removal.
What else?
Give
Total
the
removal.
PTU and the methimazole as well.
That's medications. Thyroid medications. What else?
Iodine therapy.
Radioactive iodine therapy.
Surgical removal.
Yes, they said it, my brother. And then they said, "Yeah, what they brought for the better was saying, surgical removal." They said it already. So, and they've given us the nurse alerts the primary healthcare provider the client may be experiencing which of these. That means of all the treatment that we are going to, based on what they have here, we are going to suggest what could happen, right?
Yeah.
So hypertensive crisis, well, it could be true. Malignant hyperthermia, I doubt. Serotonin syndrome is another condition. Thyroid storm, what do you think?
Yes, sir.
Fine.
Thyroid storm.
So you see that if the patient, if the student preparing for the Nclex has no idea about the thyroid glands, he will pick something else. Oh, looking at the BP question. Yes.
Hypertensive crisis, they might pick.
And then they also want to test your understanding of all grave diseases.
Yeah.
And over here, they also want to suggest that you presume you know the golden standard treatments, right?
Yes, sir.
And then you know the complications. Very good question. Let's try this. In fact, let me give you the clue. This medication is going to be for life. It is like psychiatric medication. When you take psychiatric medications, you don't expect it to work the same day. I end my case. Hey, said them
For
all,
life.
said them. Affiliacy. And this one yes, car chibomo on few cry. Said them. May I go for
Madam Cynthia.
Cynthia, salam alaikum. Sometimes when you are a stranger, they can say Waleka. The other time, I wanted to ask Sani if Waleka was actually a response, but I don't know. It skipped me. Sani, are you there?
No, I'm good.
Sani's mouth is full.
He's breaking the ever since the fasting came to an end. Be careful you don't hurt your thyroid. So the way you are putting things is
Teaching for the nurse to include.
Assalamu alaikum warahmatullah. Assalamu alaikum. Those days when I went to the mosque and I was doing Islam prayers, after prayers, you look to your right and you give your peace there. You look to your left and you give your peace there. I never understood what I was doing, but I had
do it
that.
every day. And I'm asking myself question, why are they doing that? Why are they looking left and right after the prayer? And they will kiss left and right. I don't know why they are doing.
Boss, I'm back.
Is it not the peacefulness?
That means I have two questions to answer. The first one you asked was, the thing is, some people believe that saying walaikum, normally, if you say salam alaikum, I'm to answer you, it has three faces. The first face, when you say salam alaikum, I'm to answer you walaikum salam. But if you say salam alaikum and I say walaikum salam to you, to Muslim, that means I'm having the same reward like the person that greeted me first. But ideally, if I want to answer you, okay, Muslim to Muslim, I have to say it more. Wa alaikum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. So with that one, I'll have more reward than the person that greeted me. Because greeting in Islam is reward. So for some people, they believe that if I should greet a non-Muslim with wa alaikum salam is not good. No, it's not the right way. Some people tend to say wa alaikum Islam. No, that's not the right way. The reason why that one came up is that during the life of the prophet, some those that don't believe in Islam, when they want to greet, they say it in an abusive way.
Oh, astaghfirullah.
So they say it in an abusive way. So those people then, when they say it in an abusive way, that's how probably reply them in another way. So Walaikum Islam. So welcome to Islam. So that's what happened. But some they will misunderstand that aspect, which is very difficult for some people to even correct. Then the second question, the person that say you say it to the right and the left, as we are, as we Muslims, we believe that we have angels guiding us. One is writing our good deeds, one is writing our bad deeds. So when you are praying, anytime you are anywhere you are, there's angel recording your deeds. So to the right, you are greeting the right person, beside him that you can't see. Then to the left, you are greeting the left angel. So that's just it.
But what words do you recite? It says salam alaikum wa rahmatullah, salam alaikum wa rahmatullah. What do you mean by that?
Absolutely. Assalamu alaikum. Peace and blessing of God be with you.
Oh, okay. Thank you. I used to do that too. I used to pray. I did Salah for a while. And I would do that without necessarily understanding what I was doing. But I felt it was giving peace to my left and right. Maybe it is because of all those things that I've gotten a lot of money these days. You see? I need women to spend it with, but I'm not getting. God be my helper.
I'm not aware about that.
Oh, Eid Mubarak to all the Muslims here. We love you guys, Okay, so let's answer this question. People have chosen. Sister Cynthia, before your answer, we saw your face and we noticed that you were not eating at all. Is it because it's not Eid al-Adha? Or you want us to think you are innocent so that we don't ask you anything? You lie bad. If you guys don't give us the meat, we will come to the houses and take them by force. Okay. So the answer obviously is 4. Let's try this one. Probably this may be the last but one or the last one. Do, so, do, mi, do, ti, so, do. Said them, olu wakati bush. Said them, said them. When I die, I will miss the laughters. That's the only thing. The laughter on earth, the smiles. So good to smile and laugh. One image that I saw that I laughed so hard was a pastor who was taking a handkerchief from his suit in the pocket and then remove the wife's underwear. So he addressed it in front of the church why the wife would do that. The wife said it's not him, and that pant he has no recognition of it. It does not belong to him. So wherever he got that pant from, he should return it. If it's the angels that brought it to church,
Hey, that's more.
That's it. Hey, Abrabobun Semdoso, movie view.
Kenny.
Jamming Holy Ghost fire. We have the suit, divine akekadro. Showa DB, what? Unim pa bobo na, ye kase bompa for divine akekadra, unim yusu. All right, guys, which one won't you pick as an answer?
But two.
Two.
Thank you so much. The lesson is fully home. I thank you all for coming. Eid Mubarak to all the Muslims. I'll pause here for any questions within the next 2-3 minutes, and then I'll end the section. It's been a wonderful time.
Asabi.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you. God bless you.
Asabi.
Thank you.
Yes.
Please, I saw somewhere that hypothyroidism in kids has a different name. Instead of the Hashimoto, it's called cretinism.
Cretinism. It's also another diagnosis. I've forgotten the catchword, but yes, it's true. I'll go and learn it again and then come and give you the clear distinction, okay?
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Cretinism. It's something, I've forgotten where it was. I think I learned it when I was doing autism or so.
They said it's the hypothyroidism in infants is named cretinism.
Cretinism. Good. Well done. Well done.
About we are now. Never, Anna.
Oh, so if you go and you find, if you go and you see cretinism, maybe you might not know.
Yeah,
sure.
Oh, and I'm me be Saturday. No problem.
Papa wants a room, me and Casacra mean kind, but me shut down kind to watch there.
Madam, what's the answer?
Yes, I was here sumo with good faith and thank you. Nana.
Oh, Asabi.
Yes, sir.
During in the course of the teaching, who can say at the end of the lesson, so that can be actually.
It was a strong warning to all those going to pass the Nclex.
Okay.
When you go and pass the Nclex and you come, let me be honest with you. Some of you will see familiar questions on a particular question bank. Don't go and tell people that the questions you saw is from this question bank, so it means this question bank is what they will use. Nclex does not work that way.
Mm-hmm.
I'm telling you that if you solely rely on one question bank, for example, and you answer it diligently, there is a probability, a very high probability, you will see similar questions. Every single question bank at all, you will see similar questions. So don't make it look as though it is a particular question bank that is bringing the questions. You may mislead somebody who was following a study plan, right? Another thing, when you go and then the questions are easy for you, easy is a subjective word. Don't come and tell them it's easy so that they will loosen their tightness in studying. Please, imagine somebody going to the Nclex and then he found everything, as Abi said, to be true. It does not necessarily mean that whatever I'm saying is the 100th thing you are going to meet there. It doesn't work. However, what is true of the Nclex is this. Somebody said, knowing that one and only true God. Okay. What is true is that the questions are generated based on your ability. So as you answer them, the question intelligently see the nature of or the pattern of how you are answering and generate the question. Of course, when you say heart failure, of course, when you say pneumonia, you are speaking a language that everybody should understand. And so at least there will be a question on pneumonia, there will be a question on heart failure. It's easier to predict because we are given about 150 questions or 85 to the minimum. And there is a likelihood these chapters will come. Unless the student has not practiced those questions that he will not get. So sometimes I tell people, I feel you get more pneumonia, go and study it. When I say that, it's not because I've seen questions. No, it's just an instinct. Probably it could be determinants based on how you answered my question or just because of stomach gut, how I felt.
That's it.
So you just study it and come. If you go, whatever you had in terms of topics, you can share it with your brothers and sisters. And your brothers and sisters should understand that it does not mean they will meet the same questions. However, what they should do is if they are weak in those areas, they should understand it more. And now, Nclex is not going to take one thyroid question and then bring you a question solely on thyroid. It's a thing of the past now. What you are going to majorly see is that you see a patient with comorbidities. He is hypertensive, hyperthyroidism, hyperlipidemia, and a whole lot of things together. A whole lot of things together. Are you listening? So if the patient comes with this comorbidities, it is now that if you studied a variety of conditions and you have an idea of whatever which one is doing, then your brain will combine them. And that is why even if you attend my class, I still insist that you practice questions because that's the only way you can strategize it. Now, very soon, if any of you is willing and can afford NASLES, you can buy it. My March cohort, we know sometimes I do buy it. Remember, then we solve it as a team, right? We project it because that one is not like the Archer and the other one that so many people can use at the same time. It's not having the same interface like those question banks. Until unless you project it, then we all solve it together. So that is what we do. NASLES questions have told people several times that they use AI to generate the questions, and the questions you are going to answer on the Nclex is artificially generated based on your ability. So the probability you see similar questions on NASLES is 100% true and high. So using NASLES is okay. What does it mean? You get familiar questions, but the answers that they give you on NASLES, that's the issue. That is what I have the issue with. The rationales are not strong because it's AI generated. They just give some lighter note. Why is it hyperthyroidism? Because in hyperthyroidism, the thyroid hormones will be high. I mean, you've said that, but it does not really teach the student. You know what I mean? It does not give the student the
details.
And how it makes it special from the other answers in the first place. So when it comes to those U-word questions, yes, highly probable you can get them, but they are difficult as compared to the original Nclex. Archer questions are just like the Nclex questions. They're in terms of difficulty level, they are just like it. So it's okay to test with Archer. Even the interface resembles Archer. Bootcamp also have a similar interface like the real Nclex. Bootcamp is also AI generated, so you can get a couple of them. But Bootcamp, they are reluctant. They don't update. How am I saying all these things as if I work on them? Yes, I've worked on them. I do practice their questions. You open a question and it's the same old question you answered 3 years ago, 2 years ago. It's still there. So please, let's take note of some of these things and then work on that. In a way, I've given you tricks on which question banks to use. God be with you. Thank you all for coming. Bye-bye.
Amen. Amen.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Yes,